Hi everybody, and welcome to Warhammer Weekend. Zach here, over there. You see Saray, who I'm
Hello.
joined by. Saray, how's it going?
It's going well. Sorry we're a little late. We're working on some show improvements. Hopefully my audio's a little better than it usually is. Well, hopefully it's at least not worse.
Yeah, hopefully we took all that time and it's not worse.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be a bad turn of events.
Let us know in chat if you notice the improvement. We would appreciate it. We're going to kind of jump in here today. We have a lot of things to talk about. This show often is sort of designed to maybe go about 2 hours. That's what we think it goes. So we're going to see if that's the case here today. Saray, before we talk about, there's a lot of things to talk about. To sum that up, what we want to talk about today is, for sure, we want to talk about some of the Deepkin stuff that's been coming out. We want to talk about points. There's been something weird going on with points, right? Points have been largely released to content creators like ourselves. We know we're allowed to make content out of the points. We are confirmed by that. So if you're in chat and you start freaking out and you're saying, oh no, you can't do that, we can. We know we can. We want to talk about just the new GHB in general. As a channel, we are many games in now. So we have lots of thoughts about it. And I think that is sort of the gist of it. Oh, we're going to do a list review today. We got a list sent to us.
Yeah, we have a list review today. So someone submitted a list that they wanted us to take a look at, and I think it's kind of relevant considering, we've gotten a couple of games in now, and I feel like before I wouldn't have had any thoughts, but now I do.
Yeah, now we have a lot of thoughts.
Now I have a lot of thoughts about it.
Let's jump in. We're going to cue the science music. This is sort of the kickoff here to our show if you're new. So we do have a list of the definitive scientific rankings of Age of Sigmar models. Now, we have actually ranked a lot of models here. Let's see how many we've ranked.
Yeah.
Is it 80? Did we get to 80? We're about at 80.
Just about to hit 80.
We're about to hit 80. Okay, so we have 3 today. The 3 we're taking are 3 we think kind of you might be seeing
like these are some of the models that got some of the biggest drops in points.
Yeah. But I think, Saray, you last night, or no, when were you playing? Yesterday.
Yeah.
You took a Chaos champion on foot. He ended up turning into a Demon Prince and kind of winning you the game.
That's
but
right.
we kind of think that these little foot characters, especially ones that can slap a little bit, might actually be good in this edition. They can kind of make their way through the force unseen often. They're very easy to get these units in cover, get these units totally obscured, completely invisible. So their stock is rising, I think.
Well, specifically for Slaves to Darkness, where you can very easily turn one into a Demon Prince, that's kind of like an especially good use case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with all the obscuring and stuff like that, Littlefoot characters are at least a little better, and they're getting much cheaper.
That's the other thing that we're going to see when we get to points. There's a few recurring themes. One of them is foot characters are getting cheaper. Yeah. I think like triple Chaos Champion might be scary. I'll be honest with you.
Triple
Chaos
three of them
running around.
Worthy.
Yeah.
One of them's turning into a Demon Prince.
We've got Sigvald. Thoughts on this model right out of the gate, Saray?
It's great. It is magnificent, just like he is.
Yeah.
Castellan in the chat asking, is this one with his ass cheeks out? Yes. If you choose to paint it that way, I guess. But yes, his ass cheeks are out, as they should be.
Wait, really?
Yeah. If you turn it around, so he has like armor on. He's like, he's got his like greaves. But like, if you turn around to the back, like he doesn't have butt armor, and he's not wearing any pants under them.
Okay.
He's Slanesh. What do you expect?
That's still unusual. Okay, all right.
I think it's a pro. Weirdly, I don't like his horns. I feel like they should have left the horns off.
I kind of like it. Okay, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Now I'll say we have 2 of these in the studio. We have the commander with the guy on top here like this, and we have the one with the closed hatch. One looks. I'm just gonna say it. And I think I mostly painted them, but you helped, Saray. This was like 2 years ago when we first started the channel.
Yeah.
Ours looks significantly better than this one.
Yeah, take that.
We used better metallic. We put it on a round base, the cobblestone base. It looks actually quite cool on that base. Believe it or not, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I actually think this model weirdly holds up if done right.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, it's a classic.
Now, Baron Munchausen here on the top is a stretch.
Yeah.
But he's kind of fun. I don't think he holds up. But the tank itself kind of does. More than, I don't know, I like it. But I am with Liam T in chat. I would like to see a reinvented steam tank.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm okay with this one.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, you see this in like video games or like animated movies where style lasts longer than fidelity. And this is a very stylistic model. So I think it holds up better than a lot of models that come in that in-between period that are maybe higher fidelity, but maybe their design doesn't hold up. This design is great. And so it still looks like it fits in Age of Sigmar.
By fidelity,
with all these high quality god.
By fidelity, you kind of mean like detail combined with like what skill,
like sharpness of detail,
skill expression in the modeling, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You also see some of it in scale. Like, you know, they're not able to do as fine like real like nice live hands.
Yeah.
Like you look at this guy's hands, it looks like he's wearing, you know, mitts.
If you right. Yeah. Yes, he has those kind of. Yeah, if you if you feel like you would like this model, if you play Age of Sigmar and you're bold and you're thinking this isn't going to Legends anytime soon, then I would say get two and paint them up, because they're actually, especially if you airbrush or even if you just have like a spray metallic primer, they are very easy to paint. All of the little ornaments you can have, they're all separate, so you can leave those off, paint them separately, one at a time, however you want to do it. You know, spray the whole thing metallic, pick out a couple details with another metallic. We actually found them quite easy and fast to paint. Last but not least, and this is where we'll start and work backwards. This is another model that we have. We have Saray has one of these for his KO, and wow, it did work. The last game you brought it out in. So talk to us about the Arcanaut.
So this is the Ironclad.
The Ironclad.
Yeah. It is interesting. I think, understandably, steampunk doesn't gel with some people, including myself, frankly. I'm not super into steampunk vibes. That being said, I think this model doesn't look great photographed. Once you see it in person, it's like pretty cool. It's pretty imposing. It's cool to see such a... Yes, it's going... I think it's neat. I think the guns suffer from the classic Warhammer problem of guns are proportioned completely wrong. I guess all weapons in Warhammer proportioned completely wrong. I think the guns would look cool if they were a little thinner.
Okay.
A little more realistic sounds ridiculous on a, you know, this flying ship, but
on a dwarven flying ship,
sounds like a dumb thing to say.
But I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Well,
that being said, I think the shape itself is pretty great. Mm-hmm. I think it paints up really well. I think it suffers from too much crap on me syndrome. It's just there's a little bit too much going on. Mm-hmm. And weirdly, like as big as it is, it still seems like it only fit like 5 guys on it.
Like on the top. Yeah.
It's not that. It ain't an aircraft carrier sized ship or anything.
No.
There's room for a bigger ship in Ironclad and KO.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like and is this on the long oval base, or is this just kind of on the normal oval?
No,
base?
it's a long oval.
It's the long weird one. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, we have the gun hauler at 67.
Yeah.
Is this cooler than the gun hauler or less cooler? Maybe that's a
tough question. I think the gun hauler actually has a cooler profile, like silhouette.
Yeah.
But I think there's something to be said just for imposing size.
That's also agree.
Yeah. I don't think it's that much better though. I think it's cooler than a scrap launcher. I think it's cooler than it's.
I'm looking up here.
Yeah.
It's not cooler, I don't think, than a Revenant Seeker.
No, I don't think so. I do think it's cooler than a Chain Rasp though.
Okay.
Is that fair? That feels so weird.
I can see that.
Okay. Yeah, that's what the science is guiding me to. Oh God, I see my name in chat.
Ironclad.
Use your imagination.
That's not what science is about, Nick.
No, the science is about cold, hard truth.
Okay, Sigvald. This is a pretty cool model, no?
Very cool.
He said,
cool, very,
I should start scrolling
pose.
up. I should start scrolling up. Now, I'll start up here in the top 10. I don't know. Does he get there?
Yes. So I think it's cooler than Abraxia.
Okay.
I think it's cooler than Scumdrek.
Okay.
Is it cooler than Rodigus? Now that's a question. I'm curious what chat thinks. Okay, here's my reasoning for why.
It doesn't really matter what chat thinks because it's not science.
Doesn't
but
matter,
sure,
but
they can. Same.
Okay, so my reasoning is it's a great pose.
Yeah.
The weapon is super cool. I was just talking about how Warhammer weapons are always oddly proportioned. This sword looks properly proportioned.
It looks correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
But still having kind of a lot of details.
Yeah, exactly. I think the cape is great. I think I don't love the horns. I think I mentioned that already.
Yeah.
I think it kind of throws off the silhouette of the head.
Okay.
I kind of don't like that. So I think that kind of prevents it from going that much higher. I think it's a cool detail, but I feel like they should have been slightly.
I like the
Maybe they should
tactical.
have just been little nubs.
I like what's going on with the tactical rock.
Yeah, tactical rubble.
It's a good one, actually. You got the little Slanesh vein down there in the ground. You've got whatever this creature is. Its face looks terrifying. Like, what race is that? Right?
Yeah, it could be a Gargan.
That's a weird race. Whatever that is.
Ogre.
I don't know.
End Times Heresy. Yeah, you don't. It says I don't know Sigmar, but something from Slanesh. Yeah, this is basically.
He's kind of like the what?
He's like Lucius of fantasy.
Yeah. Okay. So does he beat Rodigus? I think he beats Scumdrek. Does he beat Rodigus?
That's. No.
No.
No, because I'm biased.
Okay. So here he goes.
I'm biased in my science ways. Thank you, Cass, for the 5 gifted memberships. We'll make sure we update our tracker there.
Oh yeah, thanks, Cass. We appreciate it. We do like to put a membership goal in some of our shows, and this one's no different. We have a 10 membership goal, so that's halfway there, sir.
We're halfway there. Thanks,
Science tells us that half of 10 is actually 5. Which means that if we got that same, this is how halves work. If we got that same amount again, we would have reached our goal. Now, Cass, since you donated, real quick, we have here a statement down at the bottom of the screen here. It says, "Help us reach our membership goal." I want you to know how you would like us to spell something incorrectly here, so you can change
it.
Or change. Oh, Cass, he just did it again. That's it. All right, Cass, you get to change.
Thank you again, Cass.
You get to change to.
Cass is a patron of the sciences.
Of the sciences. You get to rewrite this for us, Cass. It currently says, help our membership goal. It's spelled like this. Here, I can paste this in chat. Okay, there it is. Help us reach our membership goal. How would you like me to respell that? We're going to go back to ranking. You tell me, and we'll finish it in a second. Okay. All right, I know. Math is crazy.
Math is crazy, guys.
Math is weird.
Have you guys heard of this thing?
Do you remember fractions are bullshit? Do you remember being a kid? Do you remember being a kid and getting to fractions and being like, wait, there's numbers inside numbers? Fuck this.
It's all over.
It's over.
I think that he belongs in the top 10. What's next?
Okay. Last but not least, today we're doing the Steam Tank.
Okay. Am I gonna create enemies here?
I don't know. I'm wondering what you're thinking. I'm wondering what you're thinking about the steam tank. I know where I think the steam tank might go mathematically. What do you think?
Okay. I don't think it's as cool as the Great Cannon.
Okay.
There's no man drinking beer on it, so it can't be that great. I don't think it's cool as a Bloodthirster. I don't think it's as cool as Necropolis Stalkers.
Okay.
I don't think it's as cool as Pontifex and Nestor, but I do think it might be cooler than... Oh, man.
Is it cooler than a shark?
In my head, I said yes, but then I thought about it, and it's no. And I don't think it's cooler than a Brood Tear either. I think it's cooler than Snarlfang Cap. Though.
I think so, too. Yeah, no. We found it. Pretty high up. Pretty high up, actually. I think people are probably going to be surprised by that. The steam tank is I don't know why, but I actually absolutely love this model. This is a model I will be sad to see go. I'm sure whatever's going to replace it is going to be amazing. I'm genuinely imagining something more open and diorama-esque. They like to do that nowadays.
I'm imagining. So they've talked about cog forts. I'm imagining maybe like a mini cog fort. So like maybe think of like a walking watchtower. Would be pretty cool.
Yes, that would be super cool. Okay, we did it.
Right, now that we've done science, we're all warmed up.
We're all warmed up.
Some news.
Yeah, let's talk about the opposite of science, art.
What's the opposite of science?
The opposite of science, I guess, is art. Okay.
Damn it.
let's talk about the Deepkin. This is an army that we have here at the studio. We have most armies at the studio. Cass, by the way, thank you. Yeah, he said completed it, mate. We do appreciate the support, Cass. It's always nice when you show up. Whether you spend money or not, we are always happy to see you here. And like we say to everybody, if you've got the means to support the channel, we love it. If you don't have the means, if you're in a budget, you're saving up for new GHB stuff, we can wait. We're patient. We're nice. We understand it. We don't want anyone.
Like the stream. That's free.
Do like the stream. That's free. And tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gaslighting you into thinking you've done something wrong. If you can't afford it, you at least have to go tell somebody. Of course, in reality, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just enjoy and have fun. Okay. So we've got Methalea. Now, listen, I understand we're a little late to this. These came out earlier in the week. Our show's on a Friday. We can't help that. But, wow, what do you think about Methalea? Oracle of the Deep, of the Abyss.
They're super sick.
Yeah.
Bare feet.
Bare feet. It gives me some Cthulhu vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Which
just everything that has bare feet just remind you of Cthulhu.
Well, it's an oracle. I mean, she's called Oracle of Cain. She's called Oracle of not Cain, of whatever god. I forget the name of the god.
Mafon.
She's kind of like Cthulhu's is kind of in a similar pose as Methala. This model's dope.
Yeah.
Very excited to paint this.
Dope models are dope.
The Temple of Sardonai lies at the crushing nadir of the Mathanar Sea, the resting place of the Carian Lantern. Chief Priest divines the future by reading the churning currents of the ocean.
Look at those eels, man.
Comes with all kinds of sea creatures. My Deepkin are painted a little more vibrantly than this. I'm going to be painting these pretty vibrantly, I think. Yeah. I'll probably paint Methalane themselves in a... boy, the crest they have on them is super awesome. I do want to do something a little darker.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I think the model kind of is asking for that. Slightly darker. I kind of do like a Cantor blue area for mine. I might go
medium blue.
I might go a little darker here.
Medium dark.
I might honestly try to do robes and these tassel things in like a dark gray and make it look good. One of my goals when I paint the model will be to make it look good.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
Yeah. I'd like it to maybe be a little darker and to look good. And then
I want it to not look bad.
And then I want the eels contrasted with some vibrancy. So they might be a little more vibrant than what you see in the base. But man, these are cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
We keep saying eels. I'm sure someone will correct us. I think they're eels.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
They're not
okay. Then we get this thing. Let's come back.
Let's look at the picture first. You rolled right past.
No, this isn't the article that has Mathana's rules. That's okay. We'll not worry too much about it. But I did see that Mathea gives +1 attacks to mounts nearby. I think that's
boy.
Which
that
is
goes real well with Achillean Beastmasters.
That goes real well with 18 Fang Mora eels, I'll tell you. Yeah. Okay, here we've got, this is wild. I think this is super cool. They have decided that Deep can get an incarnate.
Yep.
We don't get 3 individual spells. We get 1 incarnate, apparently. Yep. And I got to tell you, it's a wild departure of what we've seen. It's the first time a faction-specific manifestation has just been a single incarnate, but I'll take it. I'm not complaining.
It looks sick, and so it's a single incarnate, but it's multiple pieces, though. I think that's worth noting.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. The incarnate comes up, and then the incarnate summons the tendrils.
Yeah.
So you summon something that summons more things, basically. It's wow. This model is going to be fun to paint. Meg and I were actually talking about this. Yeah. We will be inevitably receiving this from Games Workshop in advance and try to get this. Maybe a tutorial. We might do. We haven't actually brought this up with Saray yet, but we might be doing a 3-person tutorial on this. All 3 of us chipping in different parts. If you look at this thing, I'll be honest, I probably will paint the boat to match my Gloomtide shipwreck.
Yeah. My
Gloomtide shipwreck is blue-green, so rather than have this brown wood, I might have the blue-green wood.
Yeah.
After that, I don't really want to depart too much from what they've got here. I mean, I really want it to look like water.
Yeah.
I love the dark water, the light water mix here.
Yeah, Droog saying this looks like it'll be a pain in the ass to paint. I think if you want to paint to this high level, it's going to be a pain in the ass. I think weirdly, I know this is a banned word in our hobby studio. Slap chop might not actually be a bad method on this.
Well, I think you're totally right. I don't think this is going to be that hard to paint. I think you're going to get most of the water. So the way they do the water, I keep looking up here because for the longest time my Kelly and my Eidolons were up here. I've done the water effect thing before. It's not that hard. You take a somewhat transparent white, and you just kind of do these subtle layers on like the little bumps where you see they have like white.
Yeah.
But the rest is airbrush for me. So I mean, I'm going to airbrush this model. I'll probably spend a decent amount of time getting the airbrushing just right. And then at that point, it's really like it's painting the details, and that's what Droog I think is correct. Is there's all kinds of shit that this thing is pulling up. We've got seashells. There's the boat. There's rocks. There's a lot going on. There's a skull in here somewhere. Yep, shocker.
That net's gonna be a pain.
Yeah, net's gonna suck. But it looks exciting to paint. I'm excited to work on it. Yeah, okay, so this guy comes out, and then any hero phase.
Thanks, Cass, again.
Thanks, Cass.
Keeping the show afloat. Get it?
Yeah, good one. Sorry, yeah.
That was a pun.
Cass says, looking at it, I get the Queen Alien vibes from the crest of the wave. James Cameron's gonna sue someone at GW. Oh, yeah, the front is kind of like the alien... in Aliens, the Queen.
You know, he didn't sue after they just ripped off Colonial Marines, so...
He also didn't sue after Terminators had...
Terminator Necron.
Terminator Necron, yeah. We'll be back.
I think that ship has sailed.
Oh, God, this guy's on it. Okay, now, I like that this guy summons... You summon him... And then right away in your own turn, you roll, and on a 3-up, he can set up one of his tendrils.
Yep.
He can start setting up the tendrils. The tendrils apparently don't move. This is interesting. He drops them off, and they stay put. And you can you can remove them, but you can only ever have 2 out.
Okay.
And essentially, what they do is this: they hit things, they slap things in combat with them.
Yeah.
And they prevent things from using commands. Now, preventing things from using commands is quite strong. How far away? 9 inches. Oh, this is really powerful.
Yeah, that's very good.
So I can bring this guy in, turn 1, and then 9 inches from him, I can bring in a tendril, and I can shut down your redeploy for whatever I'm going to then put 14 eels into.
Have they shown the summoning cost?
They have not shown his cost. Yeah, we don't know how hard he's going to be summoned. A Crown Spine's an 8.
Yeah. Whoa. Drew pointing out any hero phase and no outside of enemy.
Correct.
Combat. Holy crap.
Now, he only comes out on 4 up during your opponent's hero phase. So it comes out tendril only comes out on 3. So it's another 3 up roll. It's not a 4 up roll. But what I like it for as a Deepkin player right out of the gate is in my turn, what I like it for is shutting down something I want to kill and charge. And Deepkin can haul butt across board. We know that the tides are going to be changing. They've mentioned this. They said there's going to be 2 paths of tides that you can take. So we don't know if we'll get run and charge, but I would not be surprised to see it. So if this thing sits here, let's see. It prevents in the combat phase. He is right, actually. RMJ is right. Only in the combat phase does it prevent CP usage. So maybe no on preventing redeploy. That's a bummer.
Okay,
That's a bummer. Instead, it's going to shut down all attack and all defense, and anything else you would use, which would be power through, and that wouldn't make sense.
No, power through's after, so.
Yeah, so only all attack and all defense. Still a decent movement blocker. Still kind of interesting.
Or a springboard, if you don't know what you're...
Yeah.
Can also be double-edged sword.
Yeah. I like it. I'm interested. I'm interested in this. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am curious about the cost. And did they show a health characteristic for the main thing?
No.
So still lots of information to come.
Yeah.
But pretty exciting. Also, the models are looking super good.
Now, did they say somewhere? I thought I saw somewhere something about an implication that Mathia might have like a plus to summon this thing. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Oh no, maybe not.
I've
Maybe
seen
not.
The +1 to attacks.
+1 to attack.
On Beastmasters and fainted.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. I'm excited. But one thing that's very interesting, I think, if you're a Deepkin fan like myself, one thing I will say is they've made it clear, somewhere in one of these articles, they said they're getting a bit of a redo that sounds more substantial than we've seen for a lot of other armies. Their Tides rule is getting redone. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big change for the army.
They're saying that there's going to be 2 options that you can pick, I guess, at the start of the game. That's significant. It's interesting. I actually think that Deepkin are one of the armies up there with Iron Jaws and Flesh Eater Courts that are just pretty well designed right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure what they need or how you would change them, other than some new units. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what they have planned here because, again, I kind of think it's a pretty good in a good place right now. And I'm wondering, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Is that the view of Matt Rose right now with Deepkin?
It doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't sound like it. He might think they're broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we shall see. We know they're coming out soon. We don't really, once we start getting these musings and like teases, we know it's like a matter of a month or 2 tops.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And of course, we'll have them on the channel for you guys immediately because it's probably one of my, it's maybe tied with my first or maybe my second favorite army to play. So very exciting. Okay, we did it.
All right.
Saray,
Points about points.
Points about points. We want to talk about points. So first, let's be clear once again. We can do this.
We can do this.
We can do this. We can talk about points.
If anyone has any specific requests, just let us know. We're going to kind of be doing big overview stuff or anything that's stuck out. But if you want something specific, go ahead and ask.
If you want to know exactly something, ask. If you super chat it, even just $2, we'll get to it immediately. We'll stop what we're doing.
That's the best way to get our attention. So.
That's the best way to get our attention. A bright blue thing.
At chat, though,
yeah, we'll look at chat. Okay. So we wrote a little document up, Saray and I, and this document is pretty bare bones. It's not just all the points changes. We thought that would be stupid. But what we did is we wrote a little Google Doc up together, and we want to go through some of the armies and hit some key points.
Yeah.
First, it's worth pointing out that they've made it clear that there is some focuses on where points are going to drop. It is monsters that aren't heroes, war machines,
foot heroes,
cavalry heroes.
And weirdly, I noticed a lot of shooting went down as well.
Shooting also went down as well. Priesting went up.
Yeah. And a lot of manifestations went up.
Manifestations. You put that in the end, I think I saw, right?
Yeah,
right? Okay. So we're going to go through some armies. Some armies are of a little more note than others. We're going to talk about some implications for the armies. This is kind of the meat and potatoes here of our show today. Cities of Sigmar. The cannon is dropping further to a meager 100 points. You can now take triple cannon and take veteran cannoneers to reroll one die for each cannon.
For 300 points.
For 300 points.
That's amazing.
I like this because it is the case that cannons is okay. As far as shooting goes, Saray, we saw KO dance around. We're going to talk about this in our next segment about some observations 10 games in. If you can move and shoot, you're in a better spot. Duh.
Yeah.
Cannons don't really move. I think their move is 4 inches, right?
Yeah, they're not exactly.
Steam tanks. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm putting that steam tank.
Yeah, steam tanks. Because steam tanks, by contrast, can move. They actually move 10 inches. They're not that slow.
No.
They also kind of slap a little bit harder than you think we're in combat. And, they have a 2-up save. So...
Yeah.
I'm seeing some steam tank, and
Wow.
We're actually playing this army tomorrow. I don't know what Brett is planning on taking. Brett is obsessed with his cannons.
3 cannons for sure.
Well, I think he said he was going to take the not this battle formation, but the other Ghyran battle formation.
Okay.
Which is a little more mixed arms. It's like pick a one shooting unit and one melee unit, and they each get a little perk.
Okay.
So I think cannons are going to be quite interesting. Excuse me, steam tanks. Cannons. I could take 3 of them. I can put them where I want. There's 40K players know these terms. Firing lanes, gun lines. These are still viable things.
You do need to remember though, there's a lot more obscuring now. Mm-hmm. If targets really want to hide, the only thing you're going to be able to shoot is monsters and flying things.
In a round, I think we've been trying to count how many games we've either played or produced, and we think I think I'm around 10, 9 or 10, 8 or 10. Saray, you're around there too. One thing we have not seen yet, I've not seen anyone use a place of power to turn anything obscuring.
Yeah, not yet.
I think Steven did it in the game, but it didn't matter because Brad did have some shooting. However, the battle plans themselves just have more obscuring. Saray and John played one yesterday that the whole middle of the board is obscuring. It had 4 forests right around it. So that's actually where this is coming from. You hear everybody losing their shit. They're saying, the whole board's going to be obscuring. Everyone's going to be turning everything obscuring all the time. Not really. So far, not really. But it's actually more just the battle plans kind of have more obscuring in them.
Yeah, the battle plans are very dense.
And, Saray, worth pointing out, this hasn't been being talked about a lot either. Places of power and area terrain both have picked up the obscuring keyword, which they did not have in the previous GHB. Yeah. So more than just obscuring terrain has the obscuring rule. Almost all terrain has the obscuring rule.
Yeah.
Only obstacles don't.
And I mean, that's huge because yesterday you played a game with 4 places of power right across the center of the board.
Now, we happen to use a giant river, and then we decided, we made some rules up around it a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, there's a lot of obscuring.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I think the big thing here is 100-point cannons, steam tank commander down 30.
Yeah.
But honestly, there's just a ton of points drops for all of cities. Not all, but like a good amount of cities got a lot of drops.
Yeah, specifically human stuff.
Yeah.
Some dark elf stuff. Almost no dwarf stuff. One dwarf hero, the one no one takes. There's like 2 dwarf heroes. One everyone takes, one no one takes. The one that no one takes got a points drop. Like a big one too. But otherwise, Dwarden are just as expensive as ever. Steel helms are down to 80.
Yeah. 80 points.
80 for steel helms. 80 for a 4-up save that can easily get a 6-up ward. Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, especially in an edition where they're going to be able to be obscured. I think human stuff in Cities of Sigmar is looking very good right now.
I think we're going to see bigger Cities of Sigmar armies.
Yes.
I mean, obviously because of points drops, but...
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Saray. Everybody, folks at home, the game has gone bigger. You will have larger armies now. And we wondered about this. We saw the game get really big, quote unquote, really big, at the end of 3rd. Matt Rose said, all right, everyone play through toys. And then he really peeled it back at the start of 4th.
Yeah.
But it's headed back now. Overall, there's been a lot of, I would say, 10, 20% larger armies we're going to be seeing. Yeah, exactly, Liam.
Most places you're going to be able to get maybe a unit or at least a character in.
Yeah. Okay, Daughters of Cain. This one's pretty quick. Not a lot going on here. None of our artifacts we'll mention this as well. Same with cities. Neither cities nor daughters. No artifact or heroic trait got any points added to it. Same with daughters. Their heroic traits and artifacts are all kind of like meh. I want to point out that bladed witch elves with bladed bucklers are now 90 points for 10. So the big difference between a bladed buckler witch elf and a double blade witch elf, which is probably the best infantry unit in the army, the double blade witch elf, who is 110, 20 points more for 10, has 1 more attack and 1 more point of ren on the charge. The bladed buckler witch elf has 1 more save. Her number of attacks is 2 instead of 3. 1 less attack, 1 more save, and then no rend on the charge, which means rend 0. But here's the thing. One of the things that makes witch elves really scary is not witch elves themselves, although 3 attacks is a really nice starting point. Yeah. It's the fact that you can buff them in some very insane ways. Keep in mind, this bladed witch elf bucklers still take Mind Razor.
Yeah.
Still
damage.
Still take the new prayers, +1 to wound. If you get Mega Church, +1 attack. Still take the Slaughter Queen 3-up +1 attack. Still take the 5-up ward. They still take all the same buffs as double blade witch elves for 90 points. I actually have 40 of these ladies. I'm going to definitely be trying to cram more and more witch elves into my lists. This is good for that. Yeah.
We should thank Fonzie for his super chat.
Fonzie,
I'm so disappointed Marathi didn't move at all. I don't know Daughters of Cain. Obviously, I'm very scared of Marathi. I know she's very expensive, though.
The problem... Fonzie asked earlier, a couple episodes ago, about Marathi on one of our live streams. Fonzie's really good. Not Fonzie. Fonzie's probably good. Marathi's really good. I don't know if Fonzie's good. I don't know. I'd like to think so. Marathi is really good. I think she's okay, Fonzie. I agree with Kiki. I think she's pointed okay. Keep in mind, you have, again, a flying beat stick that moves 12 and kicks the shit out of almost anything it touches. Especially if you can hold her off a turn or two. That's not often what you want to do with Marathi. You want to get her in early and start mucking things up. But she hits hard. She kills things. She's going to be great at hunting down treasure.
Yeah.
She's going to be very good at hunting down treasure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Little Morathi, the scary part for me is actually Little Morathi in a lot of ways because she's a +1 to cast, which means she can get Mind Razor off on a 7.
Yeah.
And she has
you can hide her in a you can put her in obscuring forest now.
Yeah, Little
Make
Morathi.
it even harder to get through and kill her.
Yeah, you hide Little Morathi.
Still very expensive.
Still expensive. You hide Little Morathi, your 3 cast +1 to cast wizard. You send Big Morathi early game somewhere where she's going to touch something and wipe it out, like Wildacor hunters trying to sneak up the board and grab Scout early on, whatever, right? I still like her. I think she's okay. 20. Yes, I don't know. That's the other problem with it, Fonzie, is like if they drop Morathi 20 points, I'm like, okay. I don't know. Like, that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean they did that with Archeon. They dropped him 20 points, and it's like it's still so expensive. I don't know. I guess I see what he's saying though. It's like it just would have been like, okay, at least it's something, because so much stuff is getting drops,
but not hero monsters and not these.
Not in Daughters.
Not Daughters. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's the wizard. And here's the other thing. That's it. 20 points is a free enhancement. Daughters don't really care right now. I'm going to go ahead and maintain that our spell lore is still pretty, our manifestation lore is still pretty good, especially if you have a priest. I'm not buying Primal. I'm not taking Primal when I take Daughters. I'm taking the Daughters ones. The Snake is good. The swords are good. The Fist is great. So I don't know. I get your pain a little bit there, Fonzie. The other thing I would recommend, like I said the other night to you, consider Crethusa. You got to keep her alive. It's a little bit of a work. It's a little tricky, but she is good. Fire Slayers, we're gonna see there's not a lot to say here. We're gonna see a trend. Anything that turns somebody into a priest has clearly been popular.
Yeah.
And as a heroic trait is going up 20 points. We see this. We're going to see this in at least 2 more factions that I can think of.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Just to clarify, when we said no heroes went down, we meant for Daughters. A lot of armies got hero drops. Like Iron Jaws is one. Fire Slayers is another one. You see a lot of drops across the board there. Mostly 10 and 20.
Yeah.
80 points for Auric Flameseeker. 80 points for any character is always going to be like decent.
And Daughters did get a 30-point drop on Hag Queen on Cauldron of Blood.
Yeah, that's true.
For some reason, Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood was 30 points cheaper. Doesn't really matter. I think most people will tell you Hag Queen and Slaughter Queen are like, one gives +1 attack, one gives a 5-up ward. Those are pretty much equally awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Fire Slayers. Folks at home, this is, again, an army that we are not super familiar with on the channel. I can't say I'm surprised to see turning somebody into, if they have good prayers. I can't say I'm surprised to see Priest heroic trait going up 20 points.
Yeah, they did have their for all their heroes went down 10 or 20 points. Their heroic trait and artifact went up 20 points each. That's the Ashbeard heroic trait and Ash Cloud Rune. That's an artifact.
Yeah.
So you're probably not gonna really feel the points drops on the characters.
I asked this in the poll, Saray. I said, are you going to look at other options now that you're paying these little taxes on things?
Yeah.
With Fire Slayers, I think it's interesting. My guess is you're still taking a priest. You're finding the 20 points to add a priest. I looked at Ash Cloud Ruin and I looked at the other artifacts, and I was like, I'm a little surprised. It's once per game, can't shoot at something, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I looked at the other two. I actually didn't super remember what they did either. If there's a Fire Slayer player, let me know. I haven't played against them in 4th yet. But I saw the other 2 artifacts and I was like, oh, I don't think Fire Slayer players are going to be too worried about this. Like, all of their artifacts seemed not good, and the once per game can't shoot at me is like, okay.
Yeah.
It's a little situational, though.
Yeah, I am surprised no units went down. at all. It's all their heroes. No points drops on units.
Yeah. It is a hero-heavy army.
Yes, true.
But regardless,
I figured they would maybe try to push that a little one direction. Maybe that's just their design philosophy. Though.
Yeah. Okay, Deepkin got very little point changes, almost none. And this makes sense. Their book is coming out soon.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they have given us attacks on both the Armor of Sethai and Ancient Pride. These two together, Deepkin players like myself, were putting on the Eidolon of the Storm. That's the fighty Eidolon, not the wizard one. This is what won Adepticon. The fighty Eidolon, who is no crits or weapon abilities. Armor of Sethai. Ancient Pride is what we like to call still hit transhuman, can only be hit on a 4. Together, you put these on a fighty Eidolon, and you actually then ended up with a character that was good. The problem with the Eidolon of the Storm, otherwise, is that I think he's overpriced. He is a fast-moving, has a bubble of +1 to wound, can fall back and charge, in turn 3, and then he's got the Deepkin buffs. In turn 3, he fights first. He is good, but with these two artifacts, with this artifact as his heroic trait, he was quite good.
Insane.
Now he's 40 points more. So the way I see it is he effectively did go up 40 points.
Yeah.
If you're taking...
That's the way you take him, right?
Exactly. If you take him, you're taking these. So if you take Fighty Eidolon, he's 40 points more for you now if you want to take him like this.
I just want to answer Dicebat asked something in the chat. The Auric Runefather on Magmadroth went down 10. The Auric Rune Smiter on Magmadroth went down 20.
Yeah.
And the Auric Rune Sun didn't go down at all.
And that's the Ghyran one. That's the Ghyran War Scroll. Well, the War Scroll's there, sorry, but at the bottom you'll see the Rune Sun is the one that got a Ghyran variant.
Oh, yes. But the normal non-Ghyran version did not get a points change.
Yeah, they want you to take the Ghyran.
They want you to take the Ghyran version.
Otherwise, Deepkin, I think we'll see points changes in the book, right?
Yeah.
No surprises there. KO. Sorry, this is Saray country. Yeah.
So the big one is the Ironclad going down 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd said it before, saying like 500 is way too expensive.
Yeah.
I think 460 is. I mean that's pretty good. I don't really know how to feel about it.
I'm trying to imagine something with a 20 health and a 3-up save not being over 400 points. Exactly. It could almost not do. Yeah, and 10-inch movement, right?
10-inch movement. It's hard to justify.
It can almost have no weapons. It could almost have no weapons, and you would have to pay that much for it.
And an amazing transport ability. It's 460 feels good. A couple of points drops on some of the characters. The big one, well, I say big one. An interesting one is the Engine Master with Dirigible Suit. That's the flying guy,
and he's nasty.
He went down 30. So it's 150 now for a character with pretty decent shooting. Well, decent shooting for a character. 10-inch movement, maybe 12-inch movement.
Might be 12.
Might be 12. I'll have to double check. Yeah. Fast movement.
Mm-hmm. Fly.
Decent, obviously. Fly. 3-up save.
Fly is a problem health. Also, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an 8 health, 3-up save character for 150 that moves 10.
And again, pretty nasty shooting, yeah.
Yeah, and if you use the art of some of the heroic traits and stuff like that, you can give them an extra attack, double damage against one unit. So now you have this fast-moving 150-point character that has 5 attacks, 3s, rend 1 or 2, but doing like 4 damage.
Right.
That's like a mini fucking bloodthirster.
No, he's nasty. I've been shot at him before, like randomly, against Beastclaw Raiders. And he just was shooting like one Stonehorn. This is in 3rd edition. Yeah. I was like, what's happening? He dropped the Stonehorn by like 2/3 of its wounds. I was like, Jesus. Yeah. By the way, we'll get there, Liam and Dude. You guys are right though. 2 of the Seraphon lore and the Tzeentch lore have gone up 20, and the other one is 0. We'll talk about that. How do you feel about KO? It seems mostly pretty good. Are you fitting something new and interesting?
When we talk about the games we've played. Yeah. I think the death of shooting was maybe. I don't think it's dead.
Not for these guys. Not for these guys.
Not with KO, at least.
They're too fast. And quite frankly, they're too fast. What I was observing is that you play the battle tactics game quite well.
Yeah. Very good.
And also you have melee. Like, this is not strictly a shooting army. This army can pull some nasty melee surprises.
Yeah. So with the Sky Wardens, they can pull some stuff with some character
you
buffs.
can, I mean, someone's hiding in some obscuring. These guys will just, like, lawn mow right into it, drop off Sky Wardens in a frigate, and wreck whatever's ever in there.
Strike first.
But that said, Saray, do you think you'll need to be taking that as a KO player? Are you planning on frigate plus Sky Wardens, like, in a lot of your games?
No, weirdly, I don't think so. We'll talk about... So the one thing that did go up is Cunning Fleet Master. That's the roll 2 dice on a redeploy, choose the highest. That went up 20, so that's kind of big. That's definitely
You're still taking it.
You're still taking it.
You're
just going to eat the cost. Unlike everyone else, you don't have to pay 20 points for a manifestation, for a lore, spell lore, so...
Not yet.
I don't really care. And yeah, surprisingly, Thunders went down as well, 10 points. They definitely didn't need a points drop, so that's kind of surprising.
Well, I see, but you made this point earlier. A lot of shooting went.
Yeah, a lot of shooting went down.
And I see these guys, even though they can largely, if they're hugging a frigate or an ironclad or whatever, they can largely move around and shoot where they want.
Yeah,
I see these guys as falling into the category of static shooting. Also, right? If these guys lose their ride, they suddenly become crazy vulnerable.
Yeah.
And depending where they lose their ride, they could be in big trouble. They could not shoot really for the rest of the game and just get picked up in melee.
Yeah, suddenly that obscuring becomes a major problem because even if you're in it, you're half range. What are you going to do with a 5-inch gun, right?
Right.
Not going to do anything.
Yeah. Lumineth, we don't have a ton to say about. Their points drops were, I think the Sentinels and Wardens both went down 10.
Techless went down 20.
Techless went down 20. Wind stuff didn't really go down. I think Stone stuff might have gone down a little bit.
I don't see anything.
No.
Well, the Wardens went down 10.
Wardens and Sentinels went down. I like the new Banner Blade. The +1 to save rule's cool. But the big one here is, as far as us going down this list here, these are the first. This is the first one. Seraphon in the second here is going to fall into this category too. That's paying for their faction terrain now.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. The Lumina faction terrain piece kind of does it all. It's garrisonable, so it takes a foot hero, and it's got a lot of health too. What is its health?
While you're looking that up, their artifact of power also went up 20. What's interesting?
The wizardy one. Yeah,
all the like artifacts of power. Or
the wand, right? Sorry, is it the wand? Is it the wand that went up?
Yeah,
or something?
It's called the silver wand.
Yeah,
all going up 20 points. It's weird that there's not like a 10-point, increase on some.
Yeah,
I'm wondering why the straight to 20.
Yeah. 12 health, 3 up save.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing can freaking move. This is a strong terrain piece. It's you put a little foot character in there. You get the abilities it has, and then you also are moving around, and you turn a foot character and put him in a suit of 12 health, 3 up armor.
Yeah, he's walking in a
that moves right. That moves
mech.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't say I'm surprised by this. Elsewhere, it's hard for me to get beat on Lumineth because we've said this before in the channel. One, we don't have them quite yet. Meg is working on them. We actually will have them pretty soon. But two, whenever I go, I've never played. I played against this army one time, actually on a GW stream, in a competitive event in 4 years of competitive Sigmar. I've played against this army one time. Just not that common of an army. It's kind of weird, hard to paint. Seraphon. So some big things here. The Temple also went up 20. Most of us have played against this, and because we've played Meg, I played against it yesterday, and will attest that it is obnoxious because when you combine this with Croak, you end up feeling like Croak does his finger guns 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this thing zaps 3 units, and if they're near one piece of terrain that Croak, and it's 3 units that Croak also wants to hit, it's like, cool, here's, 4d3 mortals on 3 units of yours. And it sucks. So, on top of that, it gives a +1 bubble to hit for Saurus and Croxagores.
Yeah.
That's like 9 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a big piece of terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And you know who's hiding out on this thing all the time? A wizard like Croak, because a wizard needs to be near it to shoot it.
Yeah.
And Croak's guard, which are Saurus guard, which are Sauruses, which
So
already
they get
hit
the bonus.
which already hit on 3s and wound on 3s, and now hit on 2s and wound on 3s, and are tough as nails. And you're kind of like, oh, that's okay. They don't do much damage, but they kind of do, actually, because they're 3 attacks each.
Suddenly they do.
They're 3 attacks each, hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s, red 1.
Are they 1 or 2 damage?
They're 1 damage.
Okay.
They're 1 damage, but a unit of 10 of them is actually putting out something like 10, 15 saves into you.
Yeah.
So
Also, just because we're talking about shooting stuff going down, Spawn of Chotek down 20 points.
and he's not super slow. I think it moves 8. Yeah.
It's also not amazing shooting, but
It's not amazing shooting. Spawn of Chotek, sadly, I see people won't be super excited about this model in the near future, but
100 points though,
100 points maybe. And it is, I mean, it's 8 health, I think. And it's actually not bad in combat. Or it's weird in combat.
Friend as well or something.
It has like a scary. It has like some very like monster vibes in combat. It's like barely ever hits. It's like or hitting on 4s, but like wounding on 2s, good rend and like good damage, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, at 100 points, it could be interesting. This is what people were talking about earlier. The lore of celestial manipulation is up 20 points. That said, I experienced last night the lore of primal jungles. Its unlimited spells a heal.
Crazy.
Yeah, this was pretty strong. Meg made good use of this in the Carnosaur meta. She took 2 Ghyran Carnosaurs. She has a 3rd one on the way. This is a good combo. I would not be too sad about having to try Lore of Primal Jungles out if you're a Seraphon player and you want to be trying Carnosaurs. They want you to have this. Yeah. You want Lore of Primal Jungles on your slot.
Basically, I'm saying basically a super rally for monsters. Yeah. I feel like, the Carnosaur before was not very good. Or, it was fine, but like...
It's okay, but people weren't taking them. Yeah.
People weren't taking it. Now, if you're taking the Scourge of Ghyran, variant suddenly Primal Jungles is like primo healing. So
yeah, Meg was going through the other spells with me last night, and I was like, these all still sound good. I don't feel like this is that much worse. I know people weren't taking it. We don't have Tad in here today, but I know people weren't taking it, but I don't feel like Lore of Primal Jungles is bad. Like, so what I want to check real quick is the Zap, Light of Chotek. It's pick a enemy unit. Oh no, Light of Chotek is the unlimited. The Earth Trembles. Draw a straight line between the target and the closest part of the caster's 18-inch range. Each unit on a 2-up D3 mortals. D3 damage. So you draw a line. It's 18-inch range D3 mortals on a 2-up, but it's a line, so it could hit multiple units.
The beam of fish all over again.
Yeah. You almost would want that to be the unlimited, but the healing as the unlimited is wild.
Hello, my Cardinals are all back to full health.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very, very not bad at all.
Yeah.
I don't see this as something Seraphon players are going to... I think a lot of Seraphon players are like, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay. Stormcast Eternals, widespread point drops.
Yes.
But just
nothing huge, right?
Nothing huge, just everything, not everything, but a lot of things down 10, some things down 20. I think if you're a Stormcast Eternals player, you almost certainly just got the points for a Liberator or a Vindictor squad, maybe more. If you don't have Vigilors, grab Vigilors. You just got the point for 5 Vigilors. It's a marker light. You just got the points for him in your list.
Lord Celestin on Dracoth down 30s pretty big. That's a pretty big points drop.
Yeah,
but
that's
also
big.
it's not an amazing unit, but
No.
160 is much more palatable than 190.
Yeah, and Druga's right. The Vigilor kit is weird. If you know another Stormcast player, split the box of Vigilors with them because you get 10, even though it's a 5-man unit. And I actually don't know that you want more than one unit of Vigilors. I think one is all you really need. So yeah, for $30, you just got a free unit in your army that you had to pay $30 real for. Not
yes,
an ad.
Not free.
not free in the world, but free in the world
Free
of
in the
Sigmar.
game.
Free in the game.
The fantasy realm.
The Stormreach portal is up 20 points.
Yeah, that doesn't feel great.
I think this is fair, Saray.
I mean, it's fair.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be like, come on, really?
Stormcast players are in a weird place. I don't think anybody knows if this army is good or not right now. I hear it's awful. Oh, you've got to have Krondus or Karzide. It feels like
very good.
They are very good. It feels like it has to have certain things, and then it's almost too good. Yeah. The second you don't take any one thing of the certain things, it's like this army is a joke.
Well, Krondus and Karazai, the combo was them with Morbid Conjurations, and that's less likely to happen. Well,
also honor guard.
Pay for it now.
Honor guard, so you can be minus 2 attacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Stormreach portal, here's why I don't mind it going up 20. Like the temple and like the shrine, it's hefty. 3 up save, lots of wounds. I think it's 12 health also. And at the end of the day, its ability is really straightforward. It doesn't require a roll. Mm-hmm. It's pretty flexible. It happens you could do it whenever in the movement phase, so you can move something there first, then throw it anywhere on the board. It's hard to say that this isn't actually, quite honestly, arguably one of the, if not the best train feature in the game.
You think so? I mean, it's pretty good.
I mean, when you look at what it really can do, it sits there, you walk up to it, and then you teleport one unit anywhere you want. You don't roll a die.
Good.
It doesn't happen on a 3. It doesn't happen on a 2. The unit doesn't take damage. And then meanwhile, if somebody wants to destroy this thing, they actually have to come and destroy it. They can't just be plinking away at it.
It's not incidental
damage, yeah. I can't say I'm surprised. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth I don't have a ton to say about. We got a heroic trait that was clear winner, Spellsinger, and the Seed of Rebirth, which isn't even that great of an artifact, both going up 20. Yeah. People put Seed of Rebirth on a tree. It is kind of nice to get Spirit of Durthu standing back up.
Yeah, I feel like this is the one army that might go up in points. Like, really. Right? The drops
how are the
you
drops?
see are
Not a
Arch
lot.
Revenant,
Yeah. No.
Twist Wield, and then Tree Revenants. Those are all down 10. And then your best heroic trait and artifact are both going up 20.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to go up a lot, but I think this is one of the few losers.
Yeah. You might be a little annoyed, actually, if you're a Sylvaneth player. Yeah. Although they got good Ghyran stuff.
Yeah. They did get good Ghyran stuff, so. Yes. Bodyguard, Praetus, and Karzai was fucking awful. Plus Morbid Conjurations for the chains. It was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it for order. I think most of them made out pretty good. Let's keep going into chaos.
Yep.
You just called this one out. There were some points drop in Khorne, not a lot.
It's all in the characters.
In the characters, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest one we see is 20 on a Skull Grinder. Okay. 20 for Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. Down to 400 from 420. I'll take it, right?
Yeah, the cannon.
I'm not gonna say no to that.
How much did the cannon go down by? 20.
The skull cannon went down 20 as well.
How much is it? Like 100 now, right?
It's 150, so it's still not
150.
Cheap.
It's Okay.
But kind of keeping in that theme of a lot of shooting going down surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. Again, especially slow shooting that's not moving that fast, right?
Yeah.
They can't do much. Things like cannons, things that don't do anything else.
Yeah, I think the skull cannon can move relatively fast.
It can move. Oh, okay. I know it can move.
Fast. It is not KO fast. Nothing's KO fast, but
yeah. Yeah, Khorne again, another army, and that, what is it? Deepkin, Ironjawz, Khorne, of armies that I think are just kind of in a perfect spot right now. Like, don't really need, like, don't broke, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't.
Don't broke it, not fixing.
Of course, we say that as
Clear.
someone who doesn't play it. We should actually ask Brad, who actually plays the army, what he thinks. But
Yeah.
as far as we can tell, it's nothing crazy. Someone pointing out, who's that? The dude abides. 400 means you could take 5 Bloodthirsters. Not good, but fun. We've seen Bloodthirsters kind of bang. Like an all Bloodthirsters list. Kind of scary.
Yeah, it can be.
If you're not ready for it.
Disciples of Tzeentch. This is cute. We actually didn't mention, but yeah, the lore of Fate. I'll put it in here. Lore of Fate up 20. So they have the lore of Change and the lore of Fate. I think I got that right. Tzeentch players, what's the one everybody takes? Fate is the one I think everybody takes. Birds down 20. Big Birds down 20.
Big Birds down 20 is interesting.
Lore that you want to take up 20, probably a wash.
Yeah.
Unlike Seraphon, I don't think you want to. I think the lore you get here is better. Especially, unfortunately, we got new formations, Saray, from Scourge of Ghyran that are super interesting and fun and not awful, but Weird Flame Host is still just going to be really strong. And having your unlimited spell be something I can put burning on people is it's going to be too good.
So good.
Yeah.
Jade Obelisk down 20 points is interesting.
Yeah.
80 points, it's getting to the point where it's like, I don't really care if it's not good. It's so cheap.
Yeah. Now this is a good question.
80 points is pretty good.
This is a good question worth answering that DiceBat asked.
Yeah.
Did the War Scroll for Kairos Fate Weaver change? Currently, Kairos lets you take a battle tactic again.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what Kairos now does. It's quite strong. At any time, I believe it's in the hero phase of yours, you can take one of the 2 battle tactics you have chosen, and you can discard it and take a new one. Now, what you can't do is you cannot score more than 15 points between those 2 battle tactics. But it doesn't matter how far you got on the first one or how far you got on the second one. So, for example, if you took scouting and your first objective was to get
outside of
3 units outside, you could do that very easily. The first scouting one is easy. It's one of the reasons scouting is such a strong one. Drop it. Then on your next turn, when I say drop it, I mean take the 5 points. That wasn't clear. But then you could get rid of scouting and pick up something else. And whatever you pick up, you then can only complete 10 points on that one, which means you're going to complete the first one and the second one. So what it effectively does is let you avoid the hardest part of 2 different battle tactics, and instead just do the easiest part on 2 of them, and then the hardest, the middle part on 1 of them.
Yeah,
it's very strong, actually. That said, Tzeentch looks to me like one of the number 1 armies that might struggle with some battle tactics. They do have teleports, which are going to be somewhat helpful, but I think that they are also not, like, they're not going to be, I don't think any army is going to be bad at battle tactics. I just don't think Tzeentch stands out as exceptionally good at battle tactics. But this will help significantly. And then, Saray, you called it out. Jade Obelisk down to 80 points. This is a 10 or maybe 9-man unit. Tzeentch is,
I think they're a weird size.
Is 9 Tzeentch's number?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably 9. So a 9-person unit for 80 points with a 4-up unrendable save. They also can teleport the ogre if you take the Scourge of Ghyran, the Thaumaturge.
The Scourge of Ghyran Thaumaturge.
Yeah. Because they have the keyword.
The Arcanite, yeah.
The Arcanite keyword, yeah. I think Jade Obelisk might be showing up in lists.
Stocks are up.
Tzeentch. The stocks are up. Even 2 units of these is highly interesting.
Yeah.
It is a 10 model unit. Interesting.
It is a 10 model unit. Oh, we're wrong. What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, that's
like
normal.
9 and then one of them's like a dog or something?
Yeah, stuff like right, what is it? Wildercore Hunters are 7 and 4 dogs. Cat-Eyed Shadowstalkers are 9. It's weird. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, some interesting stuff going on with Tzeentch for sure.
Yeah, so also I want to point out, Lord of Change went up 30, not 20.
Lord of Change went up 30, that's right. It's Lord of Change that went up, not Fate?
Yeah, Lord of Change went up 30. Lord of Fate did not change.
Lord of Fate's the one nobody takes. Okay.
Yeah. Lord of Change.
Oh, yeah, Liam T, that's right. They have a bird. They have like a bird creature with them.
Oh, it's a bird, right?
Yeah. Okay. Slaanesh. This was pretty big.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
There's a lot. Big cuts everywhere. Widespread and large.
They want you to take more units for this army. So the Bladebringer Herald on Exalted Chariot down 30. Contorted Epitome down 20. Des Exa, down 20. That's a lot right there just by itself. Lord of Hubris down 20. Lord of Pain down 20. Sigvald down 40. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of Sinessa down 20 as well. Just lots of cuts on characters. Hellflayers down 30 as well. Not that anyone's taking them, but the Seeker Chariot down 10. So what you don't see is no changes on Blissbarb Archers or Seekers. Twin Souls and what are they called? The Painbringers also not going down. Mm-hmm. So lots of their fast moving stuff going down. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Which, we'll talk about a little bit more, but scouting is probably the best battle tactic out there, so you're going to want fast stuff. So.
Yeah, to me, the points are interesting. We'll see what happens on the other side. It's hard to, for me anyway, it's hard to look at a bunch of points decreases and then go, okay, this army's going to be good now. I feel like, we're talking about picking up a unit for a lot of armies. The Slaanesh drops make me feel like you might be able to pick up 2, depending on what they are.
Yeah. Pendant of Slaanesh did go up 20, though.
Pendant of Slaanesh.
Yeah. I'm going to be starting. I'm pretty excited to start this army. I think it is in the works to be started soon.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been accruing models.
Yeah.
So we will have this army as an army we start playing on stream. Okay. Nurgle, this is another Saray thing.
Yep.
Witherstaff, up 20.
Witherstaff down, up 20. Not surprising. It was the artifact that everyone took on a Great and Clean one. That's the one where if you get charged enough 4 up, you get strike first or you hand out strike last. I forget the exact order of it. But it was quite good. It was probably the best. Other than that, nothing huge in terms of changes. You get minus 20 on the bros who ride the big mounted beast. So that's Orgots.
The bros, yeah.
Yeah, the bros. They're down 20. Although, did all of them go down? I think it's just Orgots and Morbid X went down 20.
Oh, okay. Not Blobe.
Blobe did not go down.
Well, that makes sense. He's a wizard.
Yeah. Gutrot Spume down 20. He's not very good.
Right.
But I think what people want to know is, did Great and Clean go down? No. Rodagus did not go down.
I mean, you're going to be using the Rodagus.
The new Rodagus is quite good. Although I still think the old Rodagus, the not Scourge of Ghyran variant, still has play.
Okay.
The one interesting thing is Poxbringer down 20. I mean, I was bringing him at 120. So bring him at 100 is like not a problem to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you okay with that?
Yeah, I don't think he's good, to be clear, but for 100, like, it's fine. Yeah. Sloppity Biopiper down, though. And Spoilpox, both down 10. Probably didn't need it.
Yeah. Well, if you're taking all 3 of them, that's 40 points.
Yeah.
So any manifestations or whatever you're hoping to use. And this army doesn't have their own, which is what we've kind of seen so far. No faction-specific manifestations. Well, by the way, actually, this is a good time to mention this. No battle formations have gotten a points cost. They said that they might do that. None yet.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No battle formations have picked up a points cost yet. No, what was the one we just said? Battle formations, and then I'm trying to think what else they said they were going to put points on that they didn't. I can't remember now.
I think they did Prayer Lures? I don't know if
No
any
prayer
prayer lords.
lords. No prayer lords got points. I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
So because artifacts, terrain,
yeah, they
heroic
all
traits,
have. They all have.
manifestations all have.
Right, right.
All right, let's move on to
Skaven.
Skaven.
Now
One more thing.
Yeah,
Okay, no, this is still Skaven. Sorry.
yeah.
Weird thing, Plague Pack cannot be reinforced. I think that's a new rule.
Does it have a stripe or like a color?
It has a red stripe,
Yeah.
so that's interesting. Um, Other than that, you see just basically everything in their heroes went down.
They had fairly widespread drops and some quite large. Again, kind of
Viz
like Slanesh. Yeah.
yeah, Vizik down 20, Vermin Lord down 20. Basically all the big, what are they called? The Vermin Lords are all basically down 10 to 20 points. Um, Gracier and Screaming Build did not go down. Arch Warlock did not go down. Gracier didn't go down. And the Warlock Galvanir didn't go down. So everything else went down. Also Thankful did not go down.
I have to say that again, the points drops are probably significant enough that you're going to be seeing another unit. Again, can't tell from that where that puts Skaven. They have been sort of either kind of good or kind of bad in fourth, bouncing around. Yeah, I don't know what this really means for Skaven players. Like, I don't know what it means for them in the meta competitively, but for fun, for sure, you're getting some other units here.
Yeah. Doom players going down 20 is interesting.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Doom players are fun. That's the
Yeah, Hell Pit
yeah.
down 20. Plague Claw down 20. That's whatever. Rat Ogres going down 10. I'm surprised they got a drop. Rat Ogres were seeing lots of play. Storm Fiends down 10.
Yeah.
Also kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that surprising if you put it in the context of everything else in the game going down. Them dropping 10 isn't actually that huge.
Right. But it's just again kind of like Hedonites of Slanesh. It feels very widespread, but also kind of meaningful. Like, I don't think you have any problem suddenly being like, oh, I just gained 110 points on my army, right?
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Brad's in chat. Brad, if you have any thoughts on Skaven, go ahead and throw us some. Mulder also has some spicy lists now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like just basically drops across the board. I mean, Rattling Guns didn't go down. That's not surprising. Rattling Warcaster didn't go down.
Right.
All the stuff that you knew didn't need a points drop didn't go down.
Right.
Yes. No points on heroic traits, battle formations.
That's what I was about to ask. I was thinking, I couldn't remember if they got none. Yeah.
No, they escaped free from anything for that. So,
Skaven players
got points changes.
Get ready.
They're all drops.
Yeah, get ready.
So
It's
came
just
out all good.
Yeah, just get ready. It's gonna get a little better, I guess, for you guys. Slaves to D, Saray. How are you feeling about Slaves to D?
Yeah,
This is a big Saray army.
Abraxia down 20. This is the non-Scourge of Ghyran variant. I think the Scourge of Ghyran variant is very good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 60 points better.
Right, because now the golf has widened even more, right?
I guess, but if you put it in the context of, are you even bringing Varangard very much anymore? I guess she kind of loses her edge.
Well, that's what I like about the Scourge of Ghyran variant, is if you don't want to bring Varangard, but you want to bring...
You have something you can
do. You just bring a little, like, she's a decent, low-tier beat stick, right? She's not an upper-tier beat stick, but she's fast, she moves around. I think she's going to be good in
a utility beat stick.
She's a utility beat stick. I think she's going to be jumping around and murdering things on the flanks. Yeah.
That's the Scourge of Ghyran variant. Archeon down 20. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Model's dumb. Character's dumb. We hate him.
Centurion Marshal down 30 is interesting because he should have never been 160 to start with. But him being 130 in the context of the Chaos Lord and Demonic Mount only being 10 points more is like, why? Chaos Lord and Demonic Mount is, I think, kind of crazy at 140. He used to be 180 and I was still taking him. 140 is kind of like, why would I not take him? Chaos Sword and Karka Drag down 20. I brought him yesterday. He's much better than I thought.
Well, the thingy Champions of Chaos, the bad guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
bad guys.
Chaos, I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah.
Just 2 extra attacks. It's so good.
Well, it's great because you go from having a battle formation that you forget.
Yeah.
To having a battle formation that you don't forget.
I will never forget. My Godsummer didn't get to fight in yesterday's game. Spoiler.
Yeah.
But if he would have been hitting like a foot vampire.
Yeah.
Nerd. Godsummer, amazing.
And I'm with Brad in chat. Brad says, I always scratch my head at tiny drops to 800-point characters. Yeah, like
yeah.
that's why Fonzie was asking about Marathi. I'm like, you either drop or 50 or 80 points, or you don't touch it. It doesn't really. I don't know. That's not going to be the case as much anymore now that we're getting charged 20 points for certain things.
Yeah, I think. Archaon's gone down pretty much every battle scroll though, so it's like he's gone down like 10 points here, 10 points there. So over time he'll be playable. I mean, he's playable now, but you know what I mean.
This is what I like for you. I love the Exalted Hero at 80.
Yes.
Yeah.
80 points. Amazing. Yeah. He's actually cheaper than Dark Oath characters now.
Yeah.
So, like, a pretty decent beats. I say decent beats. He's fine into, like, bigger things. He made 3 damage, hitting on 3s, run 3 against, like, heroic monsters, whatever. Mm-hmm. He is the target for... Head of the Unworthy, which means you send some dummy to go fight, and then you just, once that dummy dies, you turn him into a Demon Prince for 80 points. That's crazy.
So for 160 points, you get one that stays back and turns into a Demon Prince, one that goes out and dies.
Yeah.
Kind of nice, yeah.
And then you get a Demon Prince out of it.
And then you get a Demon
Prince.
And yeah, I love this. I love this hero. And also Chariots, I didn't realize got down to 70. Nothing. That's almost a manifestation lore.
I know.
Nothing 70. Chariots are horrible. Chariots are awful.
I mean, 70 points is like, look, I'm just using this to block the board and do.
Does it have the power through thing?
No.
No, that's just the Stormcast one.
I think it just has the charge mortal. I'd have to double check. I don't know off the top of my head. I brought one yesterday because it's pretty good for scouting.
Yeah, you need to paint one up. It's gonna be exciting. I want to see you do one. We have one for my Slaves of Darkness army that we blend the armies, but I'd like to see your take on one of these painted. At 70 points, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's a 4-up save as opposed to a 3-up save. It might be a 3-up save. I need to double check.
Yeah,
who cares? It's a huge base with like 7 wounds and like 10 movement. Just used to block crap.
Now, you can't use it for scouting, though.
Oh, because it's a war machine.
Yeah, which is a problem, because it does make it... At 70, you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah. No, so you're right. You can't use it for scouting. Good call.
Yeah.
But you know what else is good? 90 points for Savagers. I'm telling you, once one person figures out or finds the time to paint a crap load of Savagers, it's going to be all over.
That's it, because again, it's the same reason we don't see Lumineth, and quite frankly, I think Warden, maybe not this variation, but Warden and Sentinel spam is strong. The same reason you don't see too many people take 100 Witch Elves. It's just a pain in the butt.
Liam, are they painted? Your Savagers? Have you?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Liam. A lot of people own 40 Savagers.
Yeah. Are they painted and ready to go? Have you played them yet? Let me know, because I feel like they're kind of slept on. You throw is it a chieftain? I think it's a chieftain who gives them +1 attack.
Mm-hmm. No, I think
that's crazy.
I think Dark Oath are being slept on. I think
here's 46 crit mortals. For like 200 points.
The Horde is going to be big. Big. Okay, Flesh Eater Courts, again, another army that gets Zach's seal of
approval.
If it's fix, broken it, do it right.
Fix it, broke it. One more thing with Slaves of Darkness. Radiance of Dark Glory went up. That's the healing aura.
That's like the only one, too, right?
It's the only one that went, it went up 20. I don't really care. I never took it. It was good, but I'll live. It
was good, but your reaction to it was the nose winkle from Bewitched.
Yeah.
Samantha's nose winkle from Bewitched. Okay. Charnel Vestments makes something a priest. Again, not a surprise here. This is kind of game wide, going up 20 points. Priests are good, so not surprised that everybody was taking this. Kind of interestingly, John often doesn't take these. He has been taking Heart of the Gargant. He was saying he's fine with these, and their other artifacts are good anyway. Cruel Taskmaster helped you get, when you recurred a little better. Mm-hmm. I think Flesh Eater Courts are fine. Do they have a lot of? You have the document up, sorry. Did they have a lot of points drops or not really? Right? Very few.
Not a ton. You see Infernal Courtier down 20, Royal Decapitator down 20, which is interesting. 100 to 20.
He hits a little hard.
100 to 80 is good.
He hits a little hard, yeah.
Yeah. Vargulf Courtier down 20. Crypt
That's
down
interesting.
10.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, they were probably fine at 150, but 140 is good. Royal Terrorgeist down 20. Royal Zombie Dragon down 20. Those are both good. Pretty, not, in the grand scheme of things, a couple decent points drops, but then you're coming back on the Cruel Taskmaster coming up 20 and Charnel Vestments going up 20. So it's probably a wash overall.
Yeah. And Drew, fair to point out, Flesh Eater Courts are in the pipeline here that we know about for a book coming out soon. Yeah. So I think makes sense that not a lot. And again, not only that, but like Deepkin, they're kind of in the same spot. Book coming out soon, in a pretty good spot competitively. Yeah. I don't think they're broken. I don't think they're pathetic. I think they're pretty much in a good spot. So if it's fixed, don't break it. Furthermore, don't break fixing. Don't break fixings. Because broken fixings no longer fixed. No longer fixed, but now broken. Okay, Night Haunt. Widespread points drops. Lots of 10s.
Is it widespread? It looks like it's mostly on characters.
Is it?
Yeah, because the only units that got drops were Chain Gas and Rasps.
Gas and Rasps.
Gas and Rasps. And
Gasps Rasps meta is on the rise for Gasps. And then if you're beyond Gas Rasps, it's just all the characters.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? You're right now that I think about it, because the only thing on my list that dropped was Lady O, and she just dropped 10. And to Brad's point earlier, that's similar to, she's 310 down to 300.
No, well, Nagash went down 40.
Nagash went down 40.
That's how you do a big points drop.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
because then you can put
still way too expensive. But
Ruler of the Spectral Hosts. This is a get back a squad at half strength for 1 CP once per game. Heroic trait. It's probably the best Night Haunt heroic trait. That one is now 20 points. Light Shard of the Harvest Moon also went up 20 points. Brad, I know, likes Light Shard of the Harvest Moon. I don't typically use it. But that said, Night Haunt in their book have awful artifacts. It is the best one.
Yeah.
But Night Haunt players aren't going to mind this drop, because the artifacts in the Scourge of Ghyran that we got are really good.
Yeah.
And are all 0 for now. So I know I'll be sticking with Staff of Suffering. And I can't remember what the other two do, but I know at least one of the other ones was fairly good. So for me, I don't care about this Light Shard bump. Rule of the Spectral Host, though, still quite good. Probably worth it. You're spending 20 points to get 10 Dreadscythe Harridans or 10 Bladegeist Revenants. Probably good, yeah. Bone Reapers. Not a lot to say specifically. Widespread points drops.
Yeah, mostly concentrate. Well, I guess not mostly concentrating on characters. Liege Cavalier down 30.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of worthless and useless right now.
Yeah, I mean, for 210 he was worthless. 180 probably still too pricey, but more palatable.
I just don't know. I mean, Bone Reapers are just very easy to build one of two ways and have the list be strong against everything.
Yeah.
So the second you deviate from that, you're like, why would I take this guy? He's fine. He's good. He's going to live. He's fast. But if I build this list, I just know I'll probably go 4-1. Right?
And Lotus Guard going down 20 is interesting.
Yeah.
From 200 to 180. Gothazar Harvester down 20. Morghast Archive going down 10, and Morghast Harbinger going down 10.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those are meta picks right now. They're dropping
yeah,
points.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say I guess I'm a little surprised they went down, but again, I guess in the context of everything else in the game going down, it kind of makes sense.
Well, we saw this in Brad's game against Steven, which is that Brad took the ogre guns, which are not a joke. They're quite scary, actually. The Scourge of Ghyran Iron Blaster and Nalbar Scrap Launcher. And it's the only thing Brad could shoot all game because they have fly. So they're in sort of a dangerous place. Like Deepkin, Nighthaunt, these are armies I play, everything has fly. So I'm just kind of like, well, that's okay. I move fast, whatever. I'll do my Deepkin, my Nighthaunt bullshit.
Yeah.
Bone Reapers move slow, except for this one unit that moves kind of fast and has fly. So Brad was just shooting them all game long. I mean, it was really the only target for him. They also don't have a monster that gets regular use. It's just the Gothazar Harvester. So this is a hidden army that moves slow, trudges through the woods, except for the Archive, which are going to be up flying around, coming at you because they're a hammer. So they're going to get shot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to be a target of all the spells. Because remember, folks, it's not just shooting anymore. It's can it be seen? Period.
Yeah.
Right. So,
good luck to you.
Yeah.
That's basically all I've got for OBR. They got nothing for their battle formations, heroic traits, artifacts, spell lores. No points increases there.
Yeah.
Soul Blight.
Soul Blight, it's a brand new book.
Yeah. Surprising that there's really anything in here. But Blades of the Hollow King down 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Lady Annika down 20. Lady Annika's pretty good. She's a good buff piece.
Well, what's cute about Lady Annika,
piece,
what's going to be cute about Lady Annika is skin shifters.
Oh, yeah, because she can move now. She can fly now.
Yeah, skin shifters, you got to, if you're a Soulblight player, to go back and look at some of these Cursed City, some of these Virkros foot characters, Kutska, Annika, Ivya Volga. Go look at some of these foot characters, and remember, in Skin Shifters, these characters can now move 12 inches with fly in the hero phase.
In the hero phase, yeah.
In the hero phase. So Sakar, John used yesterday, Saray, against you.
Yeah.
With this trick, but and I think she's probably very nasty because that's a 30-inch range of re-roll a die on a cast or a charge.
Yeah.
But some of these foot characters, some of these Virkros foot characters can do this too. It's not just a Vampire Lord.
Yeah. We should thank Bulldog Hammer.
Thank you, Bulldog Hammer, for the support.
Bulldog Hammer, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Helps keep us the streams going. So appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. As always, yeah, I can't say I'm surprised about Soulblight. Like, the book just came out, right? Vordry's already had like 2 or 3.
Vordry went down 10.
He's already had multiple points changes. This is like his second, I think. Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah. Okay. That wraps up Death. Last Grand Alliance here, Gloomspike and the rest of Destruction.
You say Grand Alliance Gloomspike?
Grand Alliance Gloomspike.
Yeah.
Widespread non-wolf drops. So I think they kind of tuned the wolf cost up like last battle scroll,
right.
of this previous GHB. This time they didn't touch them much, but they touched everything else. You can basically get one more full Ragnarok if you're a Spiders player.
That's nuts.
For the three,
as if you needed it, right?
For the 3 Spider-Fang players out there, you can get one more
Congrats.
Ragnarok. That said, their only good artifacts both went up, and heroic traits both went up 20. That kind of sucks.
Did the White King or Vampire and Horse go down? No.
Yeah, the Vampire and Horse did.
Oh, it did?
I thought, right? Check him. Do you have him?
I'm looking at it right now. The only thing, that's Soulblight, right? So
yeah.
Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed went down 20, actually.
20, yeah. He did go down. Yeah. No, not White King. He's too good.
Yeah. The Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed, not the White King.
Yeah. Yeah, Loon Touched is +1 to wizarding or become a wizard. Again, not surprised that went up 20 points. Clammy Cow is -1 to hit. It's just too bad because I actually think that unfortunately Gloomspite gets a lot of these. We're looking at them, and again, this is kind of what I asked in the poll, and I say, are you looking at other options? And even for Deepkin, I don't hate Delicious Morsels, which is heal cavalry D3 nearby me. I don't hate that on a Kellyan King or something, but Gloomspite Kit's other artifacts and heroic traits aren't good.
Yeah.
So the Gloomspite Kit's players are going to feel like they need 40 points at the end of the list build for these two, I think, in most cases.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for them, they have a decent manifestation lore, so they're not probably looking at anything else.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get to those. Pretty much everything went up for manifestation.
That's right. Their manifestation lore is probably is good.
Is good. So
yeah.
At least they're not paying for that.
How you feel about Iron Jaws?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Like the Cabbage Dragons went down 20. Mega Boss. I'm sorry. Yeah, the regular Mega Boss also went down 20. That feels good. I feel like he was too pricey at 190. I still think he might still be a little too pricey at 170. I guess it's kind of hard to justify him at 160, but 170 I guess is fine. Tusk Boss went down 20. Weird Knob Shaman went down 10, which I think feels right because I feel like it's about the same as a War Chanter. Zog going down 10. Also interesting. Probably didn't need it. I think everyone's taking Zogrock, or a lot of people are taking Zogrock. So that's interesting. To get back to the Cabbage Dragons.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should call them what they're called. Maw Crushers.
Maw Crushers.
Yeah. And Gordrak. We'll get to it in a little bit, but I'm actually just kind of wondering, like, what are the places of these big monsters in general?
Yeah.
In the coming season?
Well,
we're going to talk about which battle attacks are really good, and I feel like there's a chance that these things could be a liability. Now, Gordrak and the Maw Crushers are quite good.
Yeah. This is a problem, right? This is a problem. So shooting in some ways is scary because, so like I said, my Deepkin and my Nighthaunt, I haven't really felt it. They all fly. You just kind of deal with it. You do your thing.
Yeah.
Daughters, the problem is Crethusa. But with Crethusa, at least one, she's can't be targeted outside 12. She is infantry. That rule has stayed the same. And two, even if she is within 12 and you try to target her, you can't. Thank you. You can't. Meg just brought me coffee. You can't. You got -1 to shoot her, right? And then on top of that, Crethusa's not trying to get front and center like Morgus Archai or like a Maw Crusher. So the problem with the Maw Crusher is that he's a monster. He's flying. He's getting all the firepower of an army like KO or Cities right away. And all game long, he's taking all the firepower. Like, just going into him.
And he's not that tough. So
or they are.
He's tough, but...
Right, or they are, but like 3 turns of that?
Yeah, it's gonna hinder your plans pretty heavily.
3 turns of that, or 2 turns, and then you're like, okay, here I come charging in with 4 health left. Yeah, right? Like,
exactly. That's all I really have to say. They didn't get anything in terms of battle formations, traits, powers, any of that. So good for them, just a good across the board. No changes to... There's a Maw Grunter Gougers also went down 20, but you have to remember there's the new Scourge of Ghyran variant, which is probably just better.
Yeah.
Nothing, no changes for Brute or Ard Boys, though.
Yeah. Crew Boys, on the other side of the coin, widespread points drops, often by large amounts, too. I think you are easily picking up
a unit, at least.
The best, one or two of the best garbage screening unit in the game, Hobgot Slittas. I mean, they are. Hobgot Slittas are so good. If they live, they retreat and do it again. If they can, they shoot a red 1 shooting attack. Like, Hobgot Slitters are kind of like no joke. Yeah, you're probably picking up close to 150, 200 points here.
You think so? I mean, the biggest drop we see is on the Killer Boss on Corpse Ripavulcha. That's down 30. But you're right. You're seeing a lot of other 20-point drops, like on the Meyer Brute Trogoth. The Gobstrack's down 20.
Yeah.
Killer Boss on Stabgraf's now 80 points, so he's down 20. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We love 80-point pieces of crap.
Yeah.
Merc Knob with Belchabana down 20.
Yeah, that's not bad. But here's an example. People were still taking Man Skewers, and 6 Man Skewers is 40 points cheaper. If you have 12, that's 80 points. 80 points is Hobgrot Slitas.
Yeah.
So if then you have some other stuff that went down, you might get back up to 80 again and get another unit of Hobgrot Slitas. So like
Man Skewer Bolt Boys at 90 is kind of a steal.
Yeah.
20-point drop on a unit that was only 110. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cruel Boy's looking good. We'll see him on the channel a little bit more. Our friend Andrew will be back to play him. I've been playing them a bit as well. So I'm kind of excited for Cruel Boys.
Let me check Bulldog.
While he checks for Bulldog.
For Sons of Behemoth.
Yeah, well, he checks that. And not much to say for Ogres. Touched by the Everwinter up 20. Makes sense. It's the one every Beast Claw Rare player takes. There is another one that's pretty good. That is something I think people... What is the other one? I forget. There's like 3 really good ones, actually, I think, for Ogres. It's, let's see, Heroic Traits, Touched by the Everwinter, ignore negative modifiers to control score. That's not good. Oh, no, never mind. None of these are good. So, yeah, you're now spending 20 points for your Heroic Trait.
Congrats.
Sons of Behemoth, nothing, really?
Sons of Behemoth, yeah. Someone said Sons of Behemoth getting nothing is very Sons of Behemoth coded, and I agree.
Okay.
What'd you get? Nothing.
Nothing. I'm not even sure they remembered we existed.
Yeah, we're still here, guys.
We're in the final alliance that gets addressed, and we're last alphabetically. It might be because of that. We get nothing.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna touch Legends unless anyone like reaches out and asks for something specific in Legends. Because we've got another segment we still need to do. We're very behind.
Yeah, we're behind. So let's.
Let's do Manifestation Lords real quick.
Manifestation Lords, which are down here. Yeah.
Everything went up 20 except for Aetherot Machineries, which didn't go up. Twilight Sorceries didn't go up, and then Morbid Conjurations are up 30. Not super surprising. Although I am surprised Aetherot Machineries didn't go up at all. I guess it's just not taken. I think it's great. I freaking love that spell lore.
It's weirdly fairly good.
Yeah. I mean, it helped a lot yesterday.
The cogs are
hard to set up. But
one rule away from being quite good, which is that a wizard has to be within 3 of them to work them.
Should be within 12.
Nothing. I mean, they only do something in a 12-inch bubble. So, like, -1 to hit a wizard within 12 inches is good. I know I would love that for my Eidolon of the Storm. See, I would drop that and then move 12 inches away. Yeah, I guess Liam, but again, if it didn't have this one rule where somebody needs to hang out next to it.
I mean, if you have enough characters, characters,
I guess
you
so.
can just have someone babysit it.
I guess so, but it doesn't move, and that's its range. And
the problem is it doesn't move.
Yeah.
And your army is like, all right, I'm out of here.
Otherwise, I agree with most of this. I'm not surprised. The Kron Spine is now 20. Primal's 20. I think Primal is looking pretty good. We've always liked Primal on the channel. We've actually tended to gravitate towards it over Morbid. Now that said, a couple other things. Burning Head got a little bit worse. You get the cards.
Some minor changes.
Show off the cards if you haven't gone yet. They're great. Ready? Let's say, here we go. Ready? Let's say you take Morbid Conjurate or Primal Energy.
Yeah.
You get 2 cards. On one is.
Why don't you put us to the front view?
Front view? Oh, main. This one a little bigger. Yeah. Okay. These are going to be out of focus, but what you can see here on one is you get the casting information. That's on the back of the Burning Head. And then here you get Ravanax, Gnashing Jaws, and on this side's Emerald Life Swarm.
Yeah, and you get all the information.
You get all the information on the cards. Very handy. No points on here, which is good. That changes. The Burning...
because it could just change them.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking around and trying to see if things are... What has changed, if anything has changed. The Emerald Life Swarm, did it always move 8? I think it moved 6. Maybe it moved 8. The Emerald Life Swarm moves 8 now. The Burning Head used to hit on 2s.
Yeah.
With both its shooting and combat. And now, okay, it's still 8 then, Drew. It now hits on 4s.
Yeah.
Which is okay. The Burning Head was kind of good.
I thought its range changed too. I thought it used to be 8-inch range, but now it's 12. I don't remember taking Burning Head very much. But the point is, there are minor changes to the spells.
To some. Yeah, not even... I'm not going to look through all of them right now, but I'll look through one more, which is the Kronspine. And he's the same.
Kronspine, the same.
The same. Okay.
All right, let's check out... let's talk about new GHB 10 games in. I guess we're going to have to expedite this a little bit. But I think our thoughts are pretty... They've kind of come out as we've been talking.
Yeah, we also have a list we're going to review here in a sec.
So don't forget
at
that.
The end, yeah. All right, Saray, you go first. I gab a lot. You go first.
No, so yeah, I think the way we should break it down is like, Kronspine saves on 6 now. Okay, that might be different. Is we should do the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. The ugly not being necessary. Well, ugly has a negative connotation. I think ugly to me is just like notable, something notable. That doesn't mean it's good or bad, but maybe worth keeping in mind because it could go one way or the other.
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Saray. Every manifestation saves on 6 and has a 6 upward.
Everything now.
Everything. Ravanax Gnashing Jaws used to be 5 up, 6 up. It's now 6 up. Yeah. Everything is 6. Everything is 6 and 6. Health.
That's bad because now you have to pay for them and they're worse.
Health. Yeah, they are worse. Health has not gone up either on these things.
That's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's rough, but
everything is 6 and 6.
It makes it easier now. They're like demons.
Yeah.
I guess Nurgle demons had a different word, but whatever.
And he says, Angry Crow says everything hits on 4s too. And we didn't use a lot of them, so I can't say I remember all of them. But yeah, Geminids used to hit on 3s, and now they hit on 4s, yeah.
Yeah, everything's worse.
Everything's worse and you pay for it, just like real life.
The enshittification of manifestations has begun.
Now all your boomer AOS parents are going to be like, I don't know why they can't make good use of manifestation. Yeah, why aren't they using the Kronspine like it used to be when I was a kid? You got to get out the charts. Look, Dad, everything's worse and costs more.
And I have to pay for it. I don't know. Okay, the good.
The good.
What do I like about the new GHB Scourge of Ghyran stuff? So, I think the good for me is I think the battle tactics are really interesting. I think there's a lot of like actual tactical play. There's potential for if you're really giga braining it, galaxy braining it, like purposefully going down on underdog, sacrificing points so that you can take advantage of a double turn to, if you go 11 points under, you can still score your battle tactics. So you can actually plan that out because, just because you meet the criteria for battle tactic, you don't have to actually say you completed it.
I got eliminated from a stream last night because Mega did this to me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next part.
Yeah.
I like the way that battle tactics, the progression on them. I think some of them can maybe use a little tweaking, but I think generally speaking, I like the progression. I like that going into a game, like I have a game plan. Like it's like fully formed in my head.
Yeah.
It's not, I felt like while battle tactics in the previous version were interesting, it was like, man, I just feel like I'm trying to keep track of too much crap going on. And there's too much pressure to like, I have to get a battle tactic. I have to get a battle tactic.
Yeah.
With this double card system, it's like, all right, look, if I don't get one this turn, it's fine. I'll get it next turn.
Right.
So,
Hopefully, right.
and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
just knowing like what your opponent's going to be doing is like, all right, well, I can actually plan for what I know what they need to do as well. It's not some, you know, how could I have seen them choose this battle tactic? Oh, of course,
Yeah.
there's no way I could have known that. You know,
Yeah.
that's one of my big positives.
Yeah. Meg brings up a good shilling point real quick, which is we're only 5 lab managers away from having 69 lab managers. That is worth pointing out.
So if you want to help us get to our magical 69 number, consider becoming a manager. There's a lot of benefits. One we're going to talk about after this.
Yeah.
What do you have to say for the good?
Good. I'm with you. I love the battle tax system. We're all kind of, we all find them hard right now, but we're getting better.
Yeah.
John and I had a game a little bit ago where we were both kind of cruising along scoring. I was doing okay in my game against Megan until she tabled me, double turned me, and brutally tabled me yesterday. I think that we're learning. My concern is that I think we're starting to see winners and losers, but I'm not sure that we're right on it yet. And everyone's really hot on Scouting Party right now. But Scouting Party does force you to build a particular way. Yeah. However, then the case is to be made that way seems to just be kind of good for Ghyran, which is infantry and cavalry.
Fast-moving infantry and cavalry.
Fast-moving infantry and cavalry are going to be great at scouting, and scouting is pretty doable. But scouting also kind of prescribes where you're going. This is what I'll say about it. It does telegraph information to your opponent very early and right away, and because it's kind of specific with what they need to be doing. They need to go out or they need to go into neutral territory, and then they need to go into your territory, and then they need to go into your territory in a particular place. And that is going to make it very telegraphed. And good players who see that someone's taking a scouting force are going to start saying, hey, I know what this person's up to, and I'm just going to leave... We think MSU might be getting bigger. A lot of people think that. Cool, I'm going to leave 3 Kroxigors back here with my wizard, with my Slann. Because now when this player goes to do their final one, they're going to have to contend with 3 Kroxigors.
Yeah. Also, thanks Matthew S. for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks Nerd Hertz.
Again, helps keeps the streams going.
Matthew S. How do you want me to change? I don't think Cass ever gave me...
Castella never told us how he wants us to screw up our
text.
Yeah,
Matthew, how do you want me to screw up the text? Right now you can say it says help, or we can change it back. If you are one of those people that gets upset by mayhem, we can change,
you also need to
change
change
it back.
The membership goal.
We need to change the membership goal.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm with you. It is very perceptible. That's not the word. It's very. It can be countered very easily.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, can be very easily countered by a person also doing scouting party.
Yeah.
Because the condition with scouting parties, you can't be in combat. So that's quite good.
Fancy Teeth. The answer to that question, I believe, is yes. By the way.
What is that?
For the double. Mighty Destroyers.
Oh yeah, I guess we haven't actually gotten a full clarification. I think so though, because they're both
seems to be a keyword. Seems to be a keyword.
Yeah, I think they have the right keyword. I'd have to double check. Sorry, I don't have that answer for you right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if it's on the battle scroll. It should. I mean, in my head it should be, but
yeah.
Other good things about Ghyran. I think the missions are interesting.
The battle plans are great. Great battle plans. Yeah.
I'm a little... We'll talk about that next. I think I was like not super sold on the like, oh, here's the red objective, here's the green objective, here's the blue objective, whatever. I think the way that they've integrated them into the battle plans is really interesting. It's not super basic like it was in the previous battle plan. Although, in that version they did have some versions like, well, you need to hit these 2 on the side, or you need to hit these 2 right here. I think with the color coding system, it's a little bit, they can play with it a little more.
Yeah.
And so far it seemed really engaging and interesting to play with.
Yeah, we've played. We haven't played all of them. I've only played or been part of playing. By that I mean produced the game, 6 of the 12. So I've only gone through half of them.
He said put a 69 in the title.
Only one of them was really crazy. Which was Paths of the Fae. That's the one John and I played on Saturday. Deepkin versus Sylvaneth, where you teleport.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's that. And people were saying, "Oh, this is gonna be one of the ones that TOs avoid." I don't think they should. I think it's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, we both know the rules going into it, so it doesn't really benefit one army over another. The teleporting is highly scripted. It's highly specific on what has to happen, and I don't see why it would get like Starstrike. People are comparing it to Starstrike. The problem with Starstrike is, and we've had this happen, one can end up on one side of the board or another, and a fast-moving army can just disengage from the battle and go win the game, whereas a slow-moving army will have to try to get
SOL.
Yeah, I don't see that with the teleport. Again, it could screw over a slow-moving army, but you kind of know what's happening. You understand that getting in there and moving from point A to point B is a possibility. And we haven't played Noxious Nexus yet, Nick.
Matthew S. wants us to put a 69 in the...
I see that, but I'm not sure where to do it. It doesn't seem... It seems right. It feels right. It feels right. G? Oh, here we go.
Help us reach our 69 AO.
Wait. We might have to do this... Okay.
Yeah, increase the AO.
This can be a 9. And 6 is kind of like what? B. We don't have a B here. Oh, member.
I think he specifically wants 69.
Wait, though. Do you accept this, Matthew? This is like kind of clever, and we can still read it.
All right.
Matthew, let me know.
Matthew,
let me know if you accept this.
No, he doesn't. He just said put a 6 at the beginning and 9 at the very end.
So he wants the whole thing.
Between a 69.
Oh, he says this is acceptable. He said this is acceptable. Okay. All right.
Ruining our stream, Zach.
But this is good. Look at that. I thought that was clever. Okay. You can still read it. You still get. Okay. All right.
Okay, that's the good. I mean, there's more good to say. I think I'm generally very excited to keep playing.
Yeah.
From what I've played, I'm enjoying the game more than I ever have. I'm enjoying it more than the previous season. I feel like the previous season was getting a little stale.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
This
engaging.
It's a head scratcher. We're all really like, what do we do here, right? Like, how do we do this? And John, unfortunately for all of us, is the smartest at war games, so he's like already got it.
He's already figured it out.
He's pretty much already figured it out. That said, I mean, you tabled him yesterday.
That's true.
With Slaves of the Darkness, and you tabled Soulblight.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah, a pretty nasty army.
Yeah, Soulblight list. Okay, well, speaking of that, kind of on that game, bad.
Look at this, boo, Meg. Yeah, Meg, that's what we do. Make us look more like that's what you get. When you donate memberships, you get to mess with the words.
Yes. We don't know how to spell. I guess I'll put this in bad.
Yeah. What is it?
Scouting Party is very good. We talked about this yesterday. Or we just talked about this, but yesterday, it's what lost John. John lost the game because of his terrain.
Yeah,
he lost. So an essential part of his army, a crux of how his army works, got. Oh, sorry, my doorbell just rang. He got screwed over by his terrain. I took Scouting Party is so easy against armies that rely on their terrain. So that's kind of bad in my opinion. That needs to be addressed. Probably.
Yeah, well, the other problem is that Soulblight have an issue. Yeah, Soulblight, this is not... I saw this, somebody posted this in Reddit. They were like, I lost because of my faction training. They're Soulblight Gravelords. That's going to have to get fixed because, it gets set up and people can smash it and they need it. And now they're all taking this one heroic trait or the artifact, Pendant Amulet of Graves, so they can bring one back. That totally sucks when your artifact is spoken for before you even build your list. I think that's a little more of a Soulblight problem. What you're saying could be true though. Like,
Well, I'm just saying it pairs so perfectly with Scouting Party, which is already one of the
right,
best um, uh, battle tactics.
right, because it just allows your opponent to cruise into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think both things are maybe true, but I personally, Saray, would want to see. So scouting party, so terrain for most factions has to be set up in their territory.
Yes.
So it doesn't help scouting party, except for actually it does help scouting party in the final two
Yeah,
sections
exactly.
of scouting party. So but that said, I think problem one is the Soulblight train is going to need to get readdressed. So you look at Sylvaneth, they can just cast and bring a new tree back.
Yeah.
You're going to need to give some of these characters, I think you went to Legends, but Gorslav the Gravekeeper, once per game, bring back a Cursed Sepulchre. Belladama, once per game, Cursed Sepulchre. You're going to have to put things in people place war scrolls, I think, that let them, if it's not going to be a spell like Sylvaneth,
Yeah.
you're going to have to figure out some other way to help armies in general return to Cursed Sepulchres.
Yeah.
There's only one way to do it right now. It only happens one time, and at the same time, exactly, the
Meticulous Slimux, yeah.
yeah, can make the trees. The trees aren't required for Nurgle. They're practically required for Soulblight. So we're going to need to see that. And weirdly, we haven't seen it yet. Nobody does that. And it's a great opportunity to bring a unit that's like kind of good. Like I'm thinking of like the Palanquin or the Coven Throne. Let them once per hero phase return a Cursed Sepulchre. Even charge them a CP for it, but like something you got to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Your other point is very valid, and to me, Saray speaks to a bigger point, which is maybe bad. I'm not willing to say much is bad yet, but I do wonder. I do wonder how balanced the 6 battle tactics are.
I think that's bad. I think
Yeah.
this is a bad. I don't think they're balanced.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I truly don't know because
To be fair, we said we've played 10 games. That's not enough to
it's
get
not
full amount
enough
of information.
It's not enough. But it also does speak to a bigger problem, which is, when they're game testing, when Matt and the boys in Nottingham are playing, 90 games before they start putting stuff into print, do they have too much information that the average player is never going to have?
Yeah.
They say, oh, it's balanced, but it's balanced after you've played a lot.
After you've completely figured the game out.
And you're playing other people who have completely figured it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I took yesterday against Meg, I took one that I thought was pretty good. It's crap, I forgot what it's called.
Wrathful Cycles?
No, that one, it feels like it's if we're saying scouting is S tier, Wrathful Cycles feels like it's an A tier one.
If you have the right army, against in the right matchup, it can be quite good.
And then
In the wrong matchup, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, and then the Hunt for Saddam's Gold is coming in also as S tier, and that's Seed Pod. Hunt for Saddam's Gold is get the treasure back from your opponent, and I think that that one is actually going to be good. I think that one's going to be fine. I think that's always going to... Yeah, because, you tabled John yesterday. What if you had taken that? And it doesn't do anything to help him. So, it's not like it gives him +1 to his save or anything.
Well, I wouldn't have double turned him.
But you still would have scored 10. But you still would have scored 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right. And you double turned him and then tabled him. You might have already gone 3 at that point anyway.
That's true.
Right? I think Hunt for Saddam's Gold is going to be big. I think scouting is going to be big. The one I took was I know the first thing I had to do was take an objective my opponent controlled. That's a thing you're going to be doing in turn 2 or 3 anyway. The second one was control all the objectives in your opponent's territory. And a lot of battle plans, that's only 1 or 2 objectives.
Yeah.
And then the third one sounds scary. It's control every objective on the battlefield. But again, the right army can do it. And frankly, Megan did it to me yesterday. After her one of her turns, not even the one where we called the game, she had every objective on the battlefield.
Yeah.
She took one back from me. She basically could have gotten this one by turn 3. I was watching. I was like, oh, she pretty much did all these things. If she took, I can't remember what, not cycles, not attuned. There's like one more. If anybody knows the names, I don't have the cards here. I'm the one who should be telling you guys, but so I don't know. Like I think you're right. Our instinct all tells us they can't be balanced. And we're all feeling that right now. To me, cycles feels okay. Kill stuff feels good.
Scouting party feels good.
Great. Feels pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We don't know, right? We don't have enough information just based off of what we played, and I guess kind of what the temperature of the community seems to be pretty much what we just said.
Yeah, but influencers, right? Warhammer and people who've had it for, we have like these things where we go through stages. This happens all the time, right? Right now we're all in a scouting party is the best. It's broken. It's the best one. Everyone's gonna take it. And then
people start countering it.
Right. And then you start looking. So we're all going to take scouting, and then we're going to look, and we're going to like, am I hunting Saddam's gold, or am I Wrathful Cycles? How fast can I? The thing I think Wrathful Cycles is the one that's interesting. The first order is a tall order. It's kill an enemy hero.
Yeah.
And it's like, after that, the next two are not that bad. And it kind of depends. Like, yeah, so... a good example of kill an enemy hero, if you go against Daughters of Cain with like what people are going to be taking, if they have Marathi, you're going to get it, but you're not going to get it till turn 3. So the clock is going to be on. If you go against Crethusa and the gals, they're going to be screened out by hundreds of witch elves. And it's not just me that's going to take that build, right? Like Hag Queen, Slaughter Queen, Crethusa are all going to be behind this wall of murder. Like, you're not getting them. And then the army has the points to screen you out from behind, too. So, like, with Cat Knight Shadowstalkers and Doomfires and stuff. So, like, you're not getting them anytime soon. And all that player has to do is make sure you don't kill a hero by turn 3. The second you don't kill a hero by turn 3, max your scoring is 10. Right?
Right.
That's kind of another question. Is 10 good?
Is 10 good enough? That's kind of maybe we'll get into the ugly. Again, ugly doesn't mean bad. Ugly is notable.
Of note. Notable.
Just a couple things. Angry Crow saying slow guys like Nurgle can't do scouting. I think if you build around flies, there's potential. Flies are not fast, but they're tough enough to remember. You don't need to score them all immediately. You can kind of start scoring turn 2. But yeah, I can see that. Some armies aren't going to be as built, and I can see Nurgle not being quite as good at scouting.
I mean, the problem with scouting is when you summarize it, you start to realize why people is good. The way you summarize is you keep moving forward. Move forward twice, and then the third time, consolidate.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it is. That's just move forward. Move forward and don't die.
And the Renadist saying if everyone has scouting, there'll be lots of scout versus scout fights. And that's what I was saying earlier. Your scouts can't be in combat, so you can actually shut down scouting if weirdly with like a scouting style army, right? With lots of fast small units, you can shut down scouting pretty easily.
Yeah. So battle tactics for sure, I think are in the front of everyone's mind is the biggest change to the game. We were all looking at the War Scrolls, which we've all been getting, slowly marinated in for a month and a half now. And we're all kind of like, these are fine. We like these. Armies that really were bad got better. Armies that were really good got some interesting, cute, fun options. Internal balance got fixed. All fine.
Yeah.
Battle tactics are the thing where we're like, these are weirdly new, weirdly complicated. And everyone's going to rush to what a few influencers say right away, saying like, this one's very good, this one's very good. But someone said something perfect here, which was Matthew. He said, scouting seems like morbid at the start of 4th. Most people agreed it's good, but others aren't incredibly far behind. Yeah, I still think Primal, for a lot of instances, a lot of cases, beats out Morbid. Like, just that head. I mean, the gnashing head could just go kill a unit.
Yeah, and same thing with battle tax.
Nothing in Morbid can do that really that well. The grave maybe. Sorry, what was that saying?
Yeah, like Wrathful Cycles is going to be probably pretty decent, and Seed Pod.
Yeah.
Potentially could be good.
Seed
Some
Pod
of them
is
combo really well, right? I think Wrathful Cycles and Seed Pod. Are those the ones?
Well, Seed Pod is Hunt for Saddam's Gold. It's actually called.
Sorry, there's some that mesh pretty well.
Yeah, that one is always sort of presumably meshes well with the game because in the game you have to kill stuff.
Yeah.
So likewise, I mean, I think the one I took yesterday, the first one is take an objective an opponent controls. That again, that's.
You're going to do that.
You have to do that. There's a seize the center. You don't have to do that. I'm not doing that with Deepkin or Daughters, right? Yeah. I'm not doing that with an elf army. I don't want to die in the middle of the board. Like, I don't want to go to the middle of the board. It's very telegraphed. That's your Nurgle one, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you're right. I'll say this. This is effing crazy. You've got to think about your army and your build. You've got to think about your opponent's army and their specific build. You have to think about the battle plan, right? Yeah. And then you have to think about which two you might want to combine. There are no authorities on this topic right now. The only authority on this topic is probably Matt Rose.
Yeah.
He's the only one that probably knows.
Figured it out.
Yeah, so find Matt Rose and kidnap him and hold him until he gives you all the secrets. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about anything that's notable to us. Again, this is not good or bad. I think something notable is the catch-up mechanics, the underdog mechanic.
Yeah.
No spoilers for last night's game.
Yeah.
But that can swing very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Being allowed to do a double turn and still score battle tactics in a world where you can purposefully not complete battle tactics, even if you technically meet the criteria, is very. I mean,
knowing that you could get them later, unlike the previous GHB where you've got one chance to score 4 points, and if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's. I don't know if that's good or bad. That I guess that rewards like really thinking ahead.
Which is what Meg did yesterday for sure. Yeah. She definitely did all that on purpose, where she got her ass kicked for 2 turns, and then
tabled you.
Then double turned me and scored battle tactics and essentially tabled me with Croxagors, 2 Carnosaurs, and Croak.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like there's.
No
I guess
spoilers.
I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know.
No spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Sorry. Don't listen to what I just said.
Yeah, just ignore it and go watch the game.
Go watch
yesterday.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how to feel about that. I'm not opposed to catch-up mechanics. I always feel like I want to be in the game.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you can purposefully essentially submarine your battle tactics is like.
Well,
boy, that's annoying.
I think, we did mention no spoilers, Polly, at the start of this, but I do. Well, we mentioned. Well, there will be spoilers. Here are the spoilers. I do think that one, she made a 12-inch charge. She needed a 10. That killed Lady O, and that was kind of a big deal. Now, the other thing though is, and that was the second time in 2 games some bullshit like that happened to me. John needed an 11 and made a 12. And killed Crethusa earlier. I take these like leading ladies that are like trying to hang out in the back and like run things, and then some jackass charges into him and
someone says, "I'm actually just going to charge you." Some jock is going to charge you.
So here's a Croxagor getting Lady O in a headlock. You ever see a giant crocodile get a ghost in a headlock?
You want to see it? Go watch last night.
Yeah, But that said, so crazy charges happen, but for sure in both cases these were double turns, which means the double turn is still viable, and this is sort of what you're saying. Like the ugly is double turn is like a scary element in the back pocket now. It used to be. It went from being a foregone conclusion. I think we think of it conclusion.
Conclusion.
Conclusion. Foregone conclusion. Conclusion is the noun version of conclusion, which is.
I don't think so. I think that's a fake word.
I think it is. Yeah. So anyway, it went from being a foregone conclusion that you would take it, and this is especially in third edition Sigmar, to being like something that last GHB I felt like what the game would get close in turn 3, 4, 5, and then you'd be like, well, I can't take it or I'll lose.
Yeah.
So even though I just won the priority, you go ahead and take it, or I can't score points.
Yeah.
To now it's like pretty bad until out of nowhere you're like, if I do this, I can think I can just win the game. Mm-hmm. If Megan hadn't pulled off some of the stuff that she had pulled off on that double turn, she might have been in a bad spot because I would have then had the double turn.
Yeah,
I would have had kind of a lot going for me. I don't know. I think you're right. It's ugly. We don't understand it yet.
Yeah,
we don't know. But where we've seen it though, Saray, is we have seen it weirdly late game. Which is where we used to not see it in previous GHB. Yeah.
I feel like the game, again, if it's not like a broken record, we've only played so many games. I feel like a lot of games go to the late game now, where it's like, it's definitely not over. Like, a lot of games, you play and it's like, all right, turn 3, we kind of know where this is going. Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Not yesterday. Not last night.
Because you can still score late game. It's like, nope, we got to keep going. Cause
not last night, but most of our games we've had a couple games go bad early. I think mine versus Meg last night went pretty bad early, like turn 2, 3. And yours versus Meg's went pretty bad for Meg, fairly early. So yeah, I don't know. It's I really have been enjoying it. Otherwise, ugly for me, Saray. Yeah, I don't know of note.
One more thing.
Yeah,
the changes to all attack and all defense in practice are they're actually pretty big changes. I think everyone kind of knew that.
Yeah.
But like yesterday, there was a point where it's like in any other scenario, I would all defense here. Mm-hmm. But I'm just not going to do it now.
So it's funny that you say that because I also still feel like they're getting a lot of use.
They still get a lot of use, but I think it is more of a calculation now.
You're getting right.
Before it would be like, all right, if I roll well, I might be able to survive this.
It's sort of like
it's like I'm not going to survive.
Exactly. It's like where it's changed is like, okay, Beauregard and Vordry are going into 5 Chaos Knights.
Yeah.
Where before you're like, listen, if I out defend, I can be on a 2-up against these two things. Now you're like, I can only be on a 2-up against one of them. And you're like, they're just going to die now. I'm conceding that they're going to die. But also, all attack is sort of like, it becomes a defensive mechanism in a way. Because now the way you think about all attack is you're like,
can I wipe them?
Will this help me wipe the unit is what auto attack now does.
Or will I diminish them so hard that they won't be able to hit me back?
And that the minus to my save won't hurt me,
really
won't be that big of a deal. So, yeah, exactly. Thornatus. That's exactly what I've been observing with it. But where it is interesting, the thing about it that's fun, though, is it plays totally different in the shooting phase. Because in the shooting phase, it feels like a whole nother rule.
Yeah.
Because you're like, auto attack? Cool. I don't care about my someone.
What are you going to do?
Right. I'm excited to see somebody do all attack and then get counterfired back and have my sort of say. We haven't seen that yet. And I don't know that we will very often, almost never really. But like I in the shooting phase it plays totally different. So I like that about it. Another can I say one more good? Mm-hmm. Here's a big good for fellow priest players out there. Sacred rites. So great. To just be able to say, I'm just doing sacred rites, I'm going to bank points. I have 4 points, I rolled a 1. Okay, well, fuck, that sucks. I really needed points. but at least I'm not losing D3. I'm just losing 1. You sort of know the worst thing that could happen now. And I guess you always did, but the worst thing that can happen is so much less worse. And then also, just like, honestly, for streaming purposes, like, it was this thing where I'd be like, okay, Cthulhu's going to cast, in my head, I'm like, I'm banking points. I don't really give a shit. But I have to name it, technically. And she already did the unlimited prayer, so I can't say that one. So I actually have to use a prayer here.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because no one else is going to use this prayer. But let me think about which one I'm going to stupidly use for no purpose.
Yeah, it's just a nice streamlining thing.
It's a nice streamlining thing, yeah.
I think that's it for that. Unless anyone else has something else.
We've got one last thing before we say bye. It's not on the menu, the agenda. We need more slots in our agenda, Meg. We need more slots. We do too many things on this show. Okay, we've got a list review. This is from Alil and Dandelion in our Discord. It is a Lumineth list. Now, if you're thinking, okay, why do these jackasses review lists? Because that's always what I think whenever I see people review lists. A lot of times I'm like, okay, well, first of all, you don't play very much AOS, or you just do your stream or whatever. Neither of us have been to a GT or an RTT in a while, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we do play a lot of games, and at least right now, we are some of the leading figures in Scourge of Ghyran, because we've played more than probably anybody else, except for the Matt and the boys. Okay, this list.
So I'm realizing the list is missing some stuff.
Yes, what?
It's missing the leaders of the regiments. But so I'll read them off.
Oh yeah.
So the leaders, Avalanor, Stoneheart King. So that's correct. The leader of the first regiment is the Light of Eltharion.
Here. You know what? Yeah, keep going.
Yep, Light of Eltharion. Okay. The leader of Regiment 2 is going to be an Alorith Stone Mage. The leader of Regiment 3 is going to be a Sinari Cathalar.
Okay.
And that's it. So that's the stuff that's missing.
Okay.
Looking at this stuff, I think it kind of goes without saying, none of us are super familiar with Lumineth. We haven't had on the channel, though it will be soon. Looking at it, I think, let's put it in the context of Scourge of Ghyran. Can you do the easy one? Can you do Scouting Party? Maybe. It'll be a little bit difficult, though. It's definitely not built for that, right?
Yeah, you're a little slow for elves.
Yeah. It would be pretty easy for someone to put... I think if someone were to put seed pods on you, I think the pretty obvious choices are going to be Light of Eltharion, Avalanor, and potentially the Dawn Riders, just because you can move them around, but then you're kind of wanting to keep them out of trouble. You have that Alorith Stone Mage and that Sinari Cathalar. Those are very easy targets for Wrathful Cycles, killing a character.
Yeah.
So you're going to watch out for that. Other than that, Zach, I'll let you say some other stuff too. Other than that, though, I just really like the list thematically. I like lots of foot infantry for high elves. I think it's super. This is going to look like a proper army on the table. This is going to look almost Warhammer Fantasy, the old world-esque, with all these guys, marching down in columns and stuff.
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a version of this that looks a little bit more presentable here, as far as information goes. It'll look less graphically interesting, that's for sure, but it will be a little bit more presentable. So let me pull that up super quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Boom. There we go.
Boom.
We'll do this for now, and we'll get that for next time. So here's the full army. Okay, yeah, you can just see the heroes now. Oh, let me do this. So it's a lot of models, which is cool. I would say let's talk for Ilarial. What battle faction are we thinking? Sorry, not battle faction. Battle tactics would you take? I liked some of your points right away. Scout is I don't know. Dawn Riders are good. Yeah, like you said.
Yes, it's a little hard with so much foot infantry. You're probably not wanting to do scouting party.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, keep in mind, you always have to be thinking, what am I doing second? What am I doing third? Right. The first one is fine. The first one is get out of your territory. I think you're probably going to be able to do that. But the second one is
holding 3 pieces of territory, enemy territory.
You're not getting in there. You're not getting up there anytime soon.
No. And it would be pretty easy to block off from it as well.
Yeah. Here's the other thing to remember. This is great. The only thing here that can't score is the heroes. But the thing is, remember,
potential to score it.
You have lots of potential. But one of the things John and I were noticing is like, you can just lose assets, and to accomplish the second one, you need 3 units. So, like, how many of these units are gone? How many of these units are gone after? There it is. How many of these units are gone after 2 turns, and you haven't gone the second one yet? I mean, the Dawn Riders might be gone. The Wardens might be gone. And how far up with the board are the Sentinels, right? Are you really getting Stone Guard there? Yeah, so, like, Scout's not the answer to everything, I think.
Yeah, I think if you probably also don't want to choose Seed Pod for this for yourself because you're not quite fast enough. You do have lots of units, so maybe that's something you can play towards late game. But if someone wants to avoid you, they're going to be able to do that pretty easily.
Fancy Teeth points out River Blades, the river. Those guys and wind stuff are a whole other story.
Yeah.
I think he wants to.
Sorry, what's the one with Seize the Center? I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I know. We're forgetting the names.
I know we're so bad at the names, but
Saul,
that list looks pretty.
Saul,
decent.
don't take Scout.
Looks good for that.
Don't take Scout with Gargants. They're monsters. They can't even. They can't even do it. I mean, this list looks good. Here's my issue with this list, though. And I'm a KG player. I love me some KG playing.
Yeah.
I don't think this list has enough hitting power.
Yeah, I guess the Sentinels aren't super tough. The Stoneheart King can hit pretty hard, but you're right. That's probably the hardest hitting thing in here, and that's about it. The
Stone Guard can kind of.
They're also susceptible to getting wiped though themselves.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what I would do, but this is sort of how Lumineth work. This is actually one of their biggest weaknesses, that they actually don't. Yeah, it's a counterpunch. They actually don't have the world's greatest collection of hammers.
Despite having the world's best collection of hammers.
Yeah, literally yeah. They really, they really don't.
I think this. I think this list is going to struggle with battle tactics, but it'll be super fun to play an old style army like this.
Yeah. What I'd recommend, I don't know. I hate to say it because wind stuff is going to be the winners for battle tactics, right? And river blades, like Fancy Teeth was saying. Otherwise, it is cool. I don't know what I would drop for that. Maybe. I'm one of the people saying Sentinels shooting isn't going to be that bad in this edition as much as people think, but I do wonder how well slower shooting is going to be, like Sentinels.
Yeah, it's not going to the same problem as the cannons versus like fast moving cannons.
Yeah, what do you get for 320 that could be a little bit more of a hammer is the question if you drop 20 Sentinels. Yeah.
Let us know how it goes if you do take this list, though.
Yeah.
We could be completely wrong. I think that's always worth calling out.
Well, it's about poking holes. It's not necessarily right. It's like I wouldn't listen to anything we said. I would run this list and see what you notice. Yeah. But if you notice, these are the things what Saray called out. Battle tactics you're going to struggle with. I'm saying I'm not sure the Sentinels are going to do much for you, and I'm suggesting by contrast you probably want some kind of fast moving hammer. You need to solve what Saray brings up, which is you need to score battle tactics, and you may need to solve what I'm bringing up, which is I don't know that you have a real scary threat. I'll put it this way: as a Daughters of Cain player, I know I have to run towards you and kill you, but I have to be on the lookout for things as I do that. As I look, I say, yeah, there are things that hit hard, the King and the Light of Aetherion, but I'm not that worried. Like, I'm not super expecting either of them to get through 20 in one go. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing I'm thinking. Same with Eels, right? Like, if I don't have fight first, how bad am I getting hurt here, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not like, this isn't scaring me. Like, I might be a little more nervous if I saw double mountain, double cow. I don't know. Even the cows can whiff a lot is the problem. They're just swingy, literally.
Yeah, they're swingy.
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alil. So if you want to have your list reviewed, you can become a Lab Mandrill. That is our second tier membership. Hop on the Discord and look for members list to review. We also have another section for members. If you want us to play a list, you can submit a list for us to play on stream. That's also a Mandrill perk.
Yeah.
That's a second tier membership.
We've done that a few times. Okay, awesome. I think we did it, Saray.
We did it.
A little bit of a reminder. Tomorrow we have a game that's actually going to be Saray playing Iron Jaws.
Yes.
Versus
Iron Jaws versus Cities.
Brett playing Cities of Sigmar. Sunday we have a hobby stream where Meg and I believe, are actually going to be working on some of the terrain that comes with Sand and Bone. That's the new Spearhead pack. Cool. Excuse me. It comes with a cool Neferata bust, and it comes with a like sarcophagus. It's like some Shaiish stuff. So one day free from Ghyran madness. After that, our next game is going to be Thursday. I'm not sure who that game is. I think it's me and Brad playing, but I'm not sure what we're playing yet. So Cities and Iron Jaws tomorrow. We'll see you then. Anything else, Saray?
No, we're good.
Okay. I think we did it all. Folks, as we like to say, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, always be creating. Bye, everybody.
Bye.